Hello, hello. Wait for some people to join. We are live for UFC 313. Come watch the fights with me, yours truly, Elle Dawson. Just a quick reminder, we are not streaming the fights here on this stream. That is illegal. Our page would get in trouble for that. We can't do that, but I am here to give you play-by-plays if you're not watching, or for you guys to just come and watch with me for this awesome pay-per-view. So hop in the comments. Let me know where you're watching from. What is up, Sean Moody? I got your mail, and it is on its way back to you, Sean, with autographs. They robbed Francis. Absolutely they did. This might be, and I promise I'm not exaggerating because I'm biased and I love Francis and he's obviously a teammate and dear friend, but that might be the worst decision we have seen in the UFC. Like I have not seen a single person make an argument for Santos winning that fight. So I'm pretty shocked, to be honest, but it's Dimitri said, boo. Just kidding. All right. Where are you watching from, guys? Watching from Boca Raton, right down the road. Been decent so far. The fights actually have been, The fights actually have been awesome. So I have no complaints other than the extreme robbery from Francis. But Sean said, I took Santos and Francis won. I definitely agree. Midwest. I'm a Midwest girl. I'm from Missouri, Sean. Midwest Illinois. How is everything going? So far, so good. We are just talking about how bad the decision was in the Marshall Santos fight. I promise I will not talk about it all night. Daytona Beach. Let's go. I am really bummed this fight fell off the card. So Rizvan Kunev trains here in Coconut Creek, Florida with us at ATT. He's an absolute animal. He has a win over Renan Ferreira from PFL. He's a stud. The dude's massive, super well-rounded. I was really, really excited to see him fight Curtis Blades, but unfortunately, Curtis got sick. You heard them if you guys are watching the fights, Joe Rogan, John Anik, they were all talking about there's some stuff going around Vegas, going around the PI, so a couple of fighters got sick. We also lost the John Castaneda fight as well against Chris Gutierrez, which I was also really excited for. I feel super bad for Chris Gutierrez. He was supposed to be fighting on this card against Matsumoto, who they pulled to replace Rob Font's opponent. So he was without an opponent, and then he got a new opponent, and then that guy got sick. So I do feel for Chris Gutierrez here. I don't think they've even announced if either fight will be rebooked yet. I'm kind of with you here. The Rizvan fight must just be cursed. So I have no clue what's happening there. It's an Elle Dawson watch along. This should be a solid night. Let's go. Let's go. We already got some people. The comment section's popping. People are watching live. Let's go. I'm excited. It's going to be a fun night of fights. So many lightweight bouts. We have Ruffy versus Green. We've got my absolute sleeper banger of the card. I think is obviously Jaylen Turner versus Ignacio Bahamondes. That fight's going to be absolute fireworks for as long as it lasts. I fully expect Jaylen Turner to do what Jaylen Turner does against other strikers and be the longer, sharper guy, but super pumped for that. And then obviously we have, unfortunately, not Gaethje versus Hooker, but slightly less exciting, Gaethje versus Fiziev 2. Absolutely should not be a letdown. So glad Bruno got a sub. Yeah, the dude has been on a tear. He's dangerous everywhere. That was quite a performance. The fights have been killer so far. Sean said I've got Ignacio. All right. I mean, Ignacio's super fun. I love how much he spins. He does use his range well to move. I just feel like that's his primary thing, and Jaylen Turner is better at what Ignacio is best at, which is being long and dangerous. And I think Jaylen Turner has a lot more power and a lot more danger factor. So I'm Definitely interested to see Jaylen Turner fight another tall, long guy. But yeah, should be fun. Should be fun. Round 1 TKO coming in Green and Ruffy. I don't know how I think this fight's gonna end, to be completely honest. I wouldn't be surprised either way here. I just think it's gonna be really fun. But we have lots of lightweights. The prelims have delivered. I am by no means. So we gotta pick for Bobby Green, King Green, Bobby Green. I took Green at plus 3.5. I don't hate that pick. I think that there's a lot of value in him as a dog, especially against somebody who likely is not going to wrestle him. Like he can still win a lot of these striking battles. So I know he's getting older, but he's still a dangerous guy and he's still really hard to fight. I think people underestimate Green a lot. They underestimate just like how fast he is and how awkward it is to fight a guy who's so quick in and out with his hands down as well. It was plus 180. Yeah, that's not a bad deal at all for Green. I don't hate it. When are you fighting again? That's a great question, Dominic. I have no clue. One of these days. I'm hoping for a 2025 return, but I have no news. Maybe winner of Ignacio versus Turner, Grant's next opponent. I could see that. I don't think Grant wants to wait for somebody who's fighting tonight because they're going to want time to recover and take a little time off and then get back into camp. Like Grant's ready to jump into camp now. So I think he would prefer somebody that's not booked currently so he can get back in there a little bit sooner. But maybe after that, yeah, I could see it. I have a feeling, I don't know. I got a feeling it's either going to be like maybe Fares Ziam. Maybe we'll fight Grant next. I could see that. Or Nasrat. Nasrat, great performance. Grant versus Myron Santos. I'm sure Grant would love that. No, Myron seems like a perfectly nice guy. It is not his fault that the judges are blind. Poor guy. He's going to get so much hate online. I legit have not seen any positive things about Santos right now at this point. T-Rex versus Grant. Terrence McKinney is a fight that I know Grant and Terrence have both won it in the past. It just never really happened for whatever reason. I could see that maybe happening. The only thing is Terrence is only on a 1-fight win streak. So I don't know if that would make sense for the UFC or not. I know Chris Duncan really and Terrence McKinney really want to fight each other as well. Chris is a teammate of ours, and they've been kind of going back and forth for a while in a respectful manner. I think, especially like on Terrence's end, he seems like he's very all good vibes. He just wants to make fights happen, so he tends to like calling out people online. But I could see that fight happening eventually. Guys, give me your picks for tonight. We have a couple people rooting for Bobby Green. Do we have anybody taking Ruffy in this first bout on the pay-per-view? Get your predictions in. Maybe we'll do whoever has the best predictions, maybe we'll do like a fun little giveaway. We'll send you something cool. I don't know exactly what yet, but we will send you something cool. My puppy's up here hanging out with me, but he doesn't want to. He's being shy. Caesar, come here. Come say hi. Come say hi. Come on, sit up. He's not so little anymore. No, he doesn't. He wants to lay down. Sorry, guys. All right. I feel like they've drawn everything out tonight just because we lost those 2 fights. There's been so much time of just like eating up the clock with commercials and whatnot. I want to hear what everybody's favorite prelims have been as well so far. I know somebody was talking about Bruno and his big finish. The flyweights were so much fun for me. So much fun. I just obviously like Van was super dominant. He looked great, but I have to give props to Saruya for just like constantly trying to put him in danger. He had a really, really sick throw. And DC broke it down beautifully, like baiting him to move towards the back, threw him right over the top. Really, really impressive. really impressive flyweight prospects right now. What is up with the Dare shirt? It's vintage, Sean. Don't hate on my Dare shirt. Don't do drugs, kids. Don't do drugs. If new viewers sub the channel, all right, guys, this is an official announcement from the boss man himself. If new viewers sub the channel and message us on Facebook or IG, we will mail you a UFC trading card on us. So sub the YouTube channel right now. Go do it before you forget. Sub the YouTube channel. Message us. Tell us you subbed. We will send you a UFC trading card. Sean's got some picks. Ruffy, Lemos, and Fiziev. Okay. And Turner. All right. Diaz versus Santos was solid. Honestly, all the fights have been solid. The only people that are just not batting 100 tonight are the judges. The fighters have been bringing it. Turner, Fiziev, and Alex. So I want to get into the minds of everybody picking Fiziev. Are you guys writing everything on the fact that Gaethje is coming off of that knockout to Max? And are we just discrediting the first fight and the fact that Fiziev has had all this time off? And he even said like he was not training for a fight when he took this. I feel like the styles with Gaethje and Fiziev, the way Fiziev fights, how short Fiziev is, I feel like Gaethje's style is a really tough matchup for Fiziev. And after we saw him fight him so incredibly well the first time around, I was surprised to see him as the underdog. If you think I'm crazy, please tell me in the comments, because a lot of people obviously are picking Fiziev. So let me know your thought processes with that. But I'm still riding with Gaethje, and I think the length, the way he attacks the calf, I feel like he will be at the end of his straight punches, while Fiziev is going to be looping more. And I just feel like Gaethje will be a split second quicker than him. Obviously, you have the explosiveness of Fiziev, but I just feel like he is a little bit more unrefined, and Gaethje will be able to kind of chip away at him like he did the first time around. Dave is a dog. Absolutely. Guys, Dave Van Auken is the GOAT. This dude was commentating at Island Fights last night, drove like 9 hours home to Daytona, essentially, like from Biloxi, Mississippi, drove from Biloxi, Mississippi, back to Florida, back home, and is here making posts for Fight Bananas and making sure you guys get awesome, cool giveaways. So shout out to Dave. Ruffy, Lemos, Ignacio, Justin, and Ankalaev. Let's go. The knockouts are going to show Fiziev has been healing. You may be right. Tell Dave to send me a card. Make sure you DM us. DM us on Facebook, and we will mail you one. Gaethje has a big chip on his shoulder. He needs a big win. If he gets knocked out, is he done? I think Gaethje has by far the most to lose out of anybody on this card. I think he is kind of right at the bottom swing of this point where he might get one more shot at the title, but it is pretty much all riding on this fight. I feel like if he gets knocked out, I don't think he needs to retire. I still think there's tons of guys that he can do well against. And I wouldn't want to see him go out like that either, just because he is such a legend. He's given us so many incredible fights. But I think he maybe becomes a bit of a gatekeeper at that point. I don't think he ever gets that shot at the title again. Biloxi is a beautiful city. Love Biloxi. Taking Ankalaev here as well. A lot of picks for Ankalaev in the comments. I'm still leaning Pereira, but I think it's an incredibly close fight. I think the odds makers really nailed it. I really do. It's such a close fight, guys. Poetan by a million. Dave out here. Dawson Hool is the GOAT. We love you, Dawson. Thank you for all the cool stuff you make for us. If Alex wins, what is next? Aspinall, or winner of Jan and Yulberg. Honestly, probably Aspinall, because it seems like John Jones is still just not wanting to make this fight happen. So if I were Aspinall, I would take that fight. I think stay active, stay relevant, show that you're willing to fight essentially the bookie man. You know, Alex Pereira, especially if he finishes Ankalaev, like he becomes even more legendary than he already is, which I think can be an incredibly big fight for Aspinall to take. Tonight will be the first in Gaethje's UFC career. He will not earn a post-fight bonus. Dang. Quite a prediction. What are the lines on that, Christopher J? It's not Aspinall. Dave just knows everything. All right, guys. It's happening, guys. Ruffy is headed into the cage right now. We are about to start off our very first fight on this card. I'm so freaking pumped, guys. So last minute picks, get him in before King Green gets in the octagon. Get him in. We saw one Ruffy, I think, maybe two. Everybody else seems to be riding with Green, so I want to know the picks. Let's do it. Bobby Green tossing hats to fans. Is he gonna give somebody his hoodie? Oh, how cool is that? He gave a kid his hoodie. Good man. He's giving away the whole fight kit. Is Bobby Green gonna retire? Does he usually do that? Ruffy by decision? Dawson's got a pick for Ruffy. So it's pretty split now between Ruffy and Green. Bobby Green is already taken off all of his clothes before he even got to the octagon. I'm surprised he didn't give somebody his socks. You have to give the UFC like a piece of fight-worn clothing. So it's like, I'm not sure if gloves are an option. So he must be giving them his shorts because he took everything else off and gave it away. If Grant was ready to fight, would have loved to see him versus Gaethje when Hooker pulled out. I mean, Grant absolutely would have taken that fight if it was offered. We had a conversation about it, but it wasn't offered, which I understand. Like, it wouldn't have made that much sense to offer it to Grant over the several fighters that did get offered it, that are ahead of him in the rankings. But I know he would have been down to take it, absolutely, which would have been an insane jump in the rankings. To be able to take that fight, of course. But Elle, we had a blast at Island Fights. I'm glad. I'm sad I missed it. I saw some highlights. It looked like some killer fights. Guys, if you guys don't watch Island Fights, you're missing out on some of the best regional MMA you will ever see. Like, I'm not, like, the matchmaking that Dean Toole pulls off, I'm not just saying this because he's my friend. Like, I have never seen that level of amateur MMA anywhere else besides at Island Fights. They do such a good job. So, and it is free on YouTube, so you can go watch it anytime you want. Green is in his 40s. Wouldn't be surprised if he retired. He's 38, but he's getting close. Definitely up there. I need some Thiago acai for this next fight. You guys, if you live in South Florida, Thiago Santos, I'm sorry, the fight is starting. I will talk about the acai after. There's too much going on. Thiago Santos and his wife have an acai shop, and it's the best I've ever had. Okay, let's go. Oh, they're still getting announced. Never mind. We have time. I thought Bruce Buffer was done announcing. I have to watch it on mute, so bear with me. Thiago Santos and Yana have an acai place in Boca Raton, and it literally is the most delicious acai I've ever had in my entire life, so go there. I would do free commercials for them every single day. Grant and I are there like 4 times a week. It is so good. Ruffy by TKO in 2. All right. Bobby looking ready. It's rough going back and forth with Island Fights, Power Slap, and SmackDown. Sean, you are a heck of a fan. Yes, we are live. Let's go. Teague versus Zellner is the best fight I've ever commentated on. Go back and watch Island Fights, guys. But not right now, because Ruffy and Green are about to go at it. I think we're honestly pretty even split between the two of them for picks. So, plus 380 underdog. I'm honestly a bit surprised to see him as such a big dog. I love Ruffy. I think he's really talented, but he lacks some experience, you know? So, that's honestly really big gap in the lines. Dave and Elle, Fight Bananas needs to do an episode with just fighter wives. I'm pretty sure ATT tried to do like a Fight Wives reality show and nobody had enough drama for it to last. I'm pretty sure that was a thing that happened back in the day. Like maybe in the Black Zillions day, the real Cage Wives. That's actually hilarious. All right, guys. Let's go. All right. Ruffy has such an awkward style. He is honestly very, like, super tall. He stands so tall. I feel like Bobby can be so quick here, though. He's very hard. It's very hard to see when Bobby Green is in range and when he's not. He moves really quickly. He fights with his hands down. Wonder if we're going to have a lot of feeling out here early, just because both guys are so rangy. This open stance. So lots of feints. Literally nothing happening yet. Paige won her power slap match last night. I hosted a girls' night over here at the house, and we all hung out and watched power slap and ate sushi. It was a good night. Not a lot happening just yet. All finding range. Honestly, Bobby looks like he's... Oh, Ruffy cracked him. Cracked him. Bobby's good. Seems like he's all right. But that was a really, really clean right hand from Ruffy. I love fighting like in this open stance. I love fighting southpaws. I think it's easier to wrestle, easier to kick. Bobby seems to be having a hard time like exploding in like he usually does. Wonder if there's the length of Ruffy and the danger. It's keeping him a little bit at bay. Feel like ooh. Oh, he's out. Oh my gosh. Wow. Spinning heel kick. I didn't even think it landed. It must have just bumped the top of Bobby Green's head. Oh man. I need to watch this replay. Ruffy versus Grant next. Yeah, I'm down. Could do it. Gene Silva's in the crowd rooting for his teammate. Wow. What a finish. Well, I lost $9. Could be worse. Could be worse. Such a wide open stance. Yeah, like fencing match. Absolutely. The Fighting Nerds are so good. What a KO. Wow. The angle that they showed first, it looked like I almost thought he was good, and then I saw him fall. Oh, man. It looks like it hit the side of his head, but then his nose looks busted. Maybe he fell on it. Oh, wait, here we go. Here's another angle. Yeah, no, hit the side of his head. Let's go. Let's match him up next. I'm for it. Wow. I'm assuming they rank Ruffy after this. Probably put him at 15, I would assume. Wow. That was nuts. Must have slipped. I think he landed on his nose because it didn't look like the kick hit his nose. I wonder what the Fighting Nerds record is this year so far. Ooh, great question here. Who will be the first Fighting Nerd to fight for a world title, guys? I don't know. I want to say my money is on Carlos Prates. He's a Fighting Nerds guy, right? Ooh, but you also have Caio Borralho, who's a little bit closer. I think it might be one of them. I think Ruffy's still like just working into the rankings, and same with Gene Silva, which I fully expect him to smash Bryce Mitchell. But wow, Caio, I think Caio makes sense. Borralho, wow, what a win! I'll put the subtitles on so I can see what he says. Hang on. I don't even have words. That was nuts. Joe Rogan's got the Fighting Nerds glasses. Let's go. I love it. By the way, guys, this translator, whose name I do not remember, he is literally the nicest guy ever and also the best translator ever. And all the Brazilians tell me that. They say he's the only guy that says tries to translate absolutely everything they say. Caio be my pick for first title contender. I definitely agree. I agree. I mean, I wonder if I can figure out what they're... The problem is trying to remember who all trains there. I mean, they're not doing too shabby, that's for sure. Dang it, Bobby. Yeah. Man, it's one of those things. No. Can't do it. Won't do it. I'm sorry. I can't do it. We'll lose our page. Got to buy the pay-per-view. Mine's working. Yeah. Hey, man, I feel like sometimes when these fighters age, it comes on quick. They look good one fight, and then it just goes downhill the next. Easiest bet, round one finish by any of them. Translators doing a face-to-face at weigh-ins is too funny. Let's see. Talking about Jesus, love it. I feel like all the Fighting Nerds guys are very, very open about their faith, which I love. That spinning heel kick is just stupid. Wow. I love that. I love the ghost the hook in front of it and then spin. Absolutely nasty. UFC don't care about Bobby. I think it's Bobby. Like, Bobby has the same management team as we do, and he's like, he loves to fight. He wants to be active. Like, he wants to say yes to everybody. I think that's why there's so many tough guys on his resume. I don't think they're trying to get Bobby beat up. I think he just loves to stay active and is willing to fight almost anybody. Dude, Volk singing, oh my gosh, Volk singing to Diego was too much. Diego's trying to be upset about it, and then you can't help it. Can't help it. But he's not wrong. He looks like an angsty teen that is about to say that it's not a phase, Mom. It's just, you can't have that haircut and not get teased a little, at least a little. Hi, Richard. Thanks for joining. Where you watching from? Let's see what Ruffy is. I haven't been paying super close attention. Has he called anybody out? Or is he just telling Las Vegas how much he loves them? Let's see. What do you think? Okay, never mind. Diego loved it and was dying. Such a good moment. Too funny. New York upstate. Daryush. Oh, good call out. Good call out. How do power slap fights go to a decision? The contest should go till someone drops. I think in coming years, we are going to look at the results on the brain of power slap, and it is not going to be good. So I'm going to go with that's probably not the best call for people's brains. Yeah, because it just seems rough. Just seems rough to just stand there and get hit. Some of these big guys, like, it's almost as bad as getting punched with some of these bigger guys. Like, it was my first time watching power slap, and I will admit I only watched because Paige was competing, but It was surprisingly entertaining. I did enjoy it. There were actually several knockouts earlier. The big boys had like super tall guys had a knockout. One of like the lightweights, there was a knockout. Not able to get on. Oh, that sucks. Mine's working okay. ESPN Plus not working for people. I'm sorry I can't show you the fights. Dude in one of the championship fights was just eating the slaps. A lot of them were. I'm like, this just seems bad for our brains. Sang us a mariachi song. Sounds like he should be hanging out with Junior Dos Santos. Every time JDS is in the gym, he seems to be singing. All right, we have female strawweights coming up next. So pumped. I'm actually very excited for this fight. Yasmin Lucendo is a terror. I feel like she's just been so steadily moving through this division. Lemos is definitely a big step up, but I think she probably will get this done. I think sometimes Lemos waits too long, and she's looking for that big shot. And I feel like Yasmin Lucendo, she's very well-rounded. She can wrestle, and I think she'll just be a little bit more active is what I'm expecting from her. But Lemos is huge for strawweight and incredibly well-rounded herself. So this should be fun. Trujillo, I think his name was. I don't know what you're saying. I'm sorry. Warren Page, all that slapping will catch up to her. I'm definitely a little bit more worried about the male heavyweights' brains than the 125-pound females. But, yeah, I mean, she loves it. I don't understand that. I have zero desire to ever do something like that. But she said she has so much fun doing it. And I'll be honest, it doesn't seem like too many people are even getting paid all that much. So I think she just actually enjoys doing it. Lucendo will sub Lemos in round 2. Love that pick. Love it. Aw, Robbie Lawler getting into the Hall of Fame. Let's go. How has it been not having to deal with Grant for like 5 days? No, guys, I'm so bored. When Grant goes out of town, I get so bored. I feel super bad for the dogs too, because they get walked like half as much, because I can't walk both dogs at once, because together they weigh like 140 pounds. So they get half walks because I'm not going to walk 8 miles. So Robbie Lawler with hair was a different time. Some of these OG fights. What is your number one Robbie Lawler fight, guys? Mine is, of course, him and Rory McDonald. 2. That is my favorite Robbie Lawler fight of all time. But he has some bangers. Let's see. Yep. Well-deserved. Well-deserved. Dude's an absolute legend. Yeah, Lawler versus McDonald, too, is the absolute correct answer. I 100% agree. I think they both took years off of each other's lives. Like, they gave MMA fans a gift that night. We owe them a lot. Bo Nichols literally talking about Robbie Lawler fighting Rory. Robbie's definitely not going to cry. Too tough. Do UFC fighters get to watch the pay-per-views for free? No. We pay for ESPN and we paid for the pay-per-view. So, which is strange, but it is what it is. Lemos, Turner, Gaethje, and Poatan with his Mystic Juju. Wow. Can't believe how long ago it was that Robbie fought his first UFC fight. Early days. I agree. Rory was never the same after the Lawler fight. He absolutely changed. Just the way he fought after that was completely different. He never had that same, like, fire again, I feel like. Certainly was a lot less reckless, which is fair. I mean, you saw it. I feel like we saw it in the when Gastelum and Izzy fought each other. I feel like they both changed after that fight, too. think you saw Izzy much more calculated after that. Robbie was at Power Slap last night, so it makes sense tonight. I mean, I'm sure he was in town to get inducted into the Hall of Fame and decided to go to Power Slap. Probably he didn't decide to go to, or he wasn't in town for Power Slap and then decided to go to the UFC fights. It's probably the other way around. Now he might go to BKFC. Oh, let the man cry. He's a legend. Dude's given brain cells and years to this sport. I don't know. I feel like at this point, like, he deserves to just retire. I don't want to see Robbie come back. I don't know. I feel like I think he's past his prime, but I don't know. Robbie babying in the crowd. Feel great about it. Love Robbie. Robbie Lawler did to Rory what Gaethje did to Ferguson. I hope he doesn't go to BKFC. He was probably in town for both. Sean is like all for Power Slap. BKFC can pay the electric bill. I don't disagree. Yep, no, he's inducted. Who said Hall of Fame isn't till July? They're literally inducting him right now. I don't know if he's getting if they're doing a ceremony, but he inducted into the modern era. That's awesome. Good for him. Top guy in the GFL, Grandfather's Fight League. We won't talk about GFL. We talk about GFL way too much in the show. Good for him. That's awesome. I'm assuming they'll do Dominic Cruz at some point soon, right? People were like, well, why did they do his retirement post in the Apex? And I'm like, I think they were doing it so that they could push the Hall of Fame induction to a pay-per-view, because obviously Dominic Cruz deserves to get inducted in front of fans and not in front of 27 people inside the Apex. I heard it's amazing at Power Slap in person. It was surprisingly entertaining. I will admit. I will also admit that several of the guys were definitely just TikTokers that wanted to make $4,000. But no, I am not. Grant, my husband, Grant is. I am signed with Invicta, International Fight Week. Ooh, yeah. Announcements now, induction in July. Yeah, no. Oh, you were saying not for Dominic Cruz. You're saying, yeah, obviously, announcement now. He's not getting officially inducted, but he's inducted. We're arguing over semantics here, Mike. It's silly. Can't wait for Dustin to get announced into the Hall of Fame. I mean, typically they wait till people are retired, so it'll be a while, but yes, he is definitely getting his spot there as well. Grant's awesome. I think so too. He's pretty cool. Pretty good looking too. Cruz gonna get abducted. Sean, what are you doing? Are you threatening people? Are you threatening Dominic Cruz? No, they'll induct him on a pay-per-view. They should. He was a great champion. Yep. We have addressed that. Diego and Khalil just incognito in the back. Aw. I'm so happy that TikTok dude got knocked out last night at Power Slap. Dude, that one was bad. That was actually kind of a scary knockout. And he the dudes that were supposed to catch him didn't even catch him. He smacked the floor super hard. Is Grant fighting Dariush next? He would love to. I don't think so, because I think Dariush wants to fight people higher up in the rankings. But that is a fight Grant has asked for several times. Are you happy that Green got KO'd? No, I'm not. I'm not happy. That was a rough one. He got knocked out pretty bad. And honestly, it's not even the first time since he fought Grant. He got knocked out really badly by Jaylen Turner. That was honestly a pretty rough stoppage. The Jaylen Turner fight, I was seriously concerned for Bobby Green's safety. The only good thing about the 2 canceled fights is the fights finish earlier. Don't have to stay up till 2 a.m. I mean, we only lost. I thought weren't both fights that got canceled on the prelims though? Because the pay-per-view still started at the same time, so I don't think they're going to be over any earlier. I can't remember, was Curtis and Rizvan supposed to be on the main card? Because the other one was like an early prelim fight. Nope, it was, fights are still going to get over at the same time, unfortunately. I don't know how that dude McGregor kept going in his slap off last night. He got knocked bad like 3 times. Something that I saw every single time we looked at the screen for Power Slap is Forrest Griffin just looked like he was having the time of his freaking life watching and participating in Power Slap. I feel like Forrest Griffin was loving it. I wouldn't be surprised to see him power slapping people. Yeah. Yep. Unfortunately, not finishing any earlier. It's going to be a late night, guys. So you guys have to keep me awake so I don't have to go over there and make more coffee. So let's go. Oh, Forrest is the dude that let that one guy hit the ground. Honestly, I think it might have been him. Yeah, he was catching them. He honestly looked like he was having a blast. Yeah. Curtis was the main of the prelims. Charles and Ilya, co-main of International Fight Week. Is this an announcement or a rumor or just something you would like to see? How do power slappers train defense? I don't think you do. I mean, I'm sure a little, but that's like saying that me as an MMA fighter, to condition my brain, I'm just going to stand here and let you punch me over and over again. That's not really how it works, you know? I feel like you get knocked out less when you mitigate brain damage in the gym, not when you practice brain damage in the gym. So they definitely use the jazzercise. Yeah, I honestly don't know. Yeah, and a lot of Muay Thai fighters do that, and a lot of them have serious brain damage later in life. Cue Liam Harrison. I don't think we should use that as an example. What defense? Yeah, you're not allowed to flinch. You can't move your head. I feel like all you can do is close your eyes so you don't get poked or like you don't get any chalk in your eyes, and like maybe tense your shoulders a little bit. Like I'm with you, Mike. I don't think there's really a whole lot of defense. I think you either have a chin for it or you don't, probably. Or you just get to slap first as often as you can. Stiffen the neck. I feel like that's the only defense you can do for power slap. There were a lot of fouls, which honestly, I'm sure I would flinch too. I'm not hating, but there was a really tall guy who was like 6'7", and he just could not keep his head still. I'm telling you, I think this is a genetic thing. Oh no. Oh, I froze for a second. Ask the guy who won the inaugural championship. He was eating strikes. I'm sure he was. I don't think it's a technique thing. I think it's some guys have good chins. Some guys don't. Some guys have good chins sometimes. Michael Chandler got knocked out by a 45er and then went 3 insane rounds with freaking Gaethje. Like, we know so little about the brain and what causes that. So it's protect your noggin, guys. Don't try and knock each other out in the gym. At heavyweight, it's hard not to flinch. I agree. That's why I'm not doing power slap, because there's absolutely no way I'm standing in front of you and letting you hit me as hard as you can. Not a chance. And there's no wrestling. Like, what am I supposed to do without grappling? Joe called her a man. Oh, really? Ouch. What did he say? I don't have the sound on, obviously. All right. Lucendo. All right, second fight underway, guys. Get your picks in. Somebody said Lucendo sub round 2. Nobody else has a pick. Dustin hit Hooker with everything and won all 5 rounds. Then Chandler hits Hooker on the first punch and gets knocked out. Yeah. Dave, don't act like you don't know me. I'm here to hump legs and get subs. I am not here for the striking. Lemos KO from Mike. All right. So we have 2. We have 2 picks. We have 1 on Lemos finish. Oh, all right. 2 on Lemos finish. Second round TKO. What was Lemos' last fight? She got armbarred by Verna. Dude, Verna is a savage. That girl can wrestle. Verna probably has, besides maybe Tatiana just like straight wrestling, Verna probably has the best straight wrestling in the division. All right. It's morning right now in my time zone, so women's fight is perfect for breakfast break. Lucendo decision. Lucendo via split decision. I feel like they're going to get after it. Lucendo's she's a firecracker. Sometimes Lemos waits for her shots, but Lucendo brings the pressure. I'm here for it. She just beat a teammate of mine, Karolina Kowalkiewicz, and then went out and beat Marina Rodriguez, who I feel like is similar, at least in build, to Lemos. Like they both have they strike well, long. Lemos maybe has a little more power. Marina Rodriguez is fighting our girl Jillian Robertson here coming up. You are a dog if you still doing the brew tomorrow morning. Sean, tomorrow morning, I'm going to wake up and pick up Grant from the airport at 8:30 a.m. And then I'm going to come home, and then I'm going to do the morning brew just for you guys. Like a champ. And the worst part, I just found this out, is that it's freaking daylight savings, so we're losing an hour tonight. So I'm going to die. I'm just going to be running on caffeine and a dream. All right, guys. Lucendo and Lemos are feeling it out. Not throwing anything. Still nothing. Better start making coffee now. Honestly, I might have to run over there. I'll take you guys with me. I'll take the laptop with me to make a coffee. Because I might have to. Woo! Lucendo, the big kick, misses. Lucendo is so she's so bouncy. She's always bouncing. And I feel like it suits her style well because she's always ready to throw. She counters well. Lemos is a little bit flatter footed. She's kind of just slowly walking her down, trying to. I feel like she's not doing a great job cutting off the cage. Lucendo is moving really quickly, and Lemos is just kind of following her around right now. Not too much is happening yet. Now she's starting to walk her down a little bit, Lemos is. She's pressuring, but nobody's throwing. Lucendo's throwing a couple kicks, and that is about it. Much love from Terry Crow to Elle and Dawson. That King Green knockout was insane. I absolutely agree. Elle, listen to your shirt. No drugs. How anxious is it being the wife of an MMA fighter, especially close to fight week? I don't get nervous. I get nervous. So I go to fight week with Grant every time. Now, I didn't used to, but the last 5 or 6 camps I've gone with him. I believe maybe Demir was the first fight I traveled with them. That sounds right. And so I get nervous for the weight cut because a lot of these lightweights are big guys. They have tough cuts. It's always tough. We have a phenomenal nutritionist. His name is Eric Pena. He's literally the best ever. Lucendo kind of trying to reap the leg, but lost her balance. Lemos gets on top. Still not doing much, though. We're just kind of in this stalemate here. Lucendo kind of trying to throw up a triangle guard, but it's not really. Her leg's kind of stuck. Still trying to attack the arm. Sorry, back to your question. So I get nervous for the weight cut. I get nervous for the weight cut while we're leading up to that. After he makes weight, I don't get nervous until like we're at the venue and he's like about to fight, you know, and then I get the jitters. I feel like I'm going to throw up essentially. How did this ref lose so much weight? Huh? Oh, I didn't even see. I'm not paying attention to the ref. Grants at ATT, right? No. So ATT includes just about everything, but they don't have like a nutritionist on staff. Just a lot of guys use different guys and prefer different styles of nutritionists. The PI, the UFC PI actually offers free nutritionists for the guys who want to use them, but we really like Eric. So, hey, Co, stop it. Stop licking yourself. Thank you. Sorry, talking to my dogs. Not a whole lot happening here in guard. Just not much damage. Lemos just throwing a few shots. It's honestly, Lucendo is really just locking her down. This is not intelligent defense, in my opinion. Like, I feel like if you are willing to lose an entire round by accepting bottom position and just locking your guard and staying there, like, what's the difference in at least trying to get up, give up your back, and then fight the hands, fight the hooks, fight the hands? Like, it's just, I don't like this mentality when we see fighters just accept bottom guard for the better part of a round. 2 minutes and 8 seconds so far of ground control time from Lemos. So almost half the round, probably will be over half the round by the time we get to the end of this round. And she's just accepted spending half the round on her back here. ATT is really awesome about, like, we don't pay coaches necessarily, like, unless you have like a specific coach you want to bring in. Like, we pay the gym and that's it. Like, we pay our fee to the gym. We cover our coach's expenses. But we have strength and conditioning included at the gym. We have every kind of coach imaginable at the gym, and the highest level as well. Pahompa, Mike Brown, Pitbull, Mako, like, just some of the best coaches in the world are at ATT. So they really do provide so freaking much for us. Lucendo does have a little bit of a cut under her eye. I'm trying to wait for the cut man to move his hand so I can see how bad it is. I can't tell if it's more bruise or... Oh, no, it's more bruise than cut. Doesn't look too bad. Let's see. I think Justin will bring out his wrestling on this one. He shot his one UFC takedown on Fiziev, so we could absolutely see it again. Elle, do you think some of these fights getting canceled and illnesses on fight night could be a result of weight cutting and dehydration? I doubt it. Just because of who dropped off the card. Like, Curtis Blades doesn't really cut weight. So I think the commentary team at the beginning of the card said that we're back on our feet. Round two. Obviously, I think Lemos won the first round, but we are on to round two. No, we do not pay a membership. We only pay a portion of purse. So, let's see. Elbow, open the cut. Yes, it really doesn't look too bad. It just looks like it's a little uncomfortable. All right, I'm gonna watch the fight, and then we'll go back to the comments in between rounds, and I will address. I had some people asking me about the PI, but Sean, finish answering your question. I think the commentary team brought up that there was something going around the PI, and like, there's a lot of fighters at the PI, a lot of bodies, a lot of germs. So somebody probably got sick and spread it around the PI. And then most likely what happened is, if you were already a little sick, it gets exacerbated during the weight cut when your immune system is down. And then you end up obviously getting sicker when you cut the weight and you're super, super drained. So most likely, Curtis Blades posted that he contracted norovirus. That sucks. Yeah, it's got to be going around. I wonder if Castaneda had the same thing. But I could definitely see Castaneda's. Oh, there's a Santiago on the Spanish broadcast. Let's go, buddy. But I could see Castaneda especially because he has most likely is cutting more weight than the heavyweights. So, Caesar, come here. Norovirus is nasty. Like this. Okay. It's just me and my puppies, so it might pop in and out of the frame every now and then. All right. And Lemos back on top for, I'm assuming, the rest of the round based on what we saw. Oh. Nah, she doesn't have the neck. Trying for it, though. No, now she's trying to get her arm out. Yeah, I would really like to see Lucendo create space here. I think she's doing too much holding. Like, it's counterproductive, right? If I'm trying to get up, why would I also be holding you on top of me at the same time? You know? Like, I have to create that space, and she's just tying Lemos up here and trying to mitigate damage. Like, hoping the ref stands you up is just not a good game plan for when you're on your back. I'd love to see, I think we see this with female MMA more, because women have flexible hips, so it's easier for them to retain guard. And they're just a little bit more comfortable here because it's easier to tie up the skinny, like our skinnier, smaller arms. It's easier to tie up. It's easier to mitigate damage, and it's hard to do enough damage to really open up the fighters that are on their back. And so you see this a lot, and especially in the lower weight female fights where they're just so accepting of this position. And I would really like to see that change in the women's division. Like, I want to see some more. Oh, Lemos with a big fence grab there. But I really would like to see more get-ups by giving up the back. Like, a lot of people cannot throw hooks in fast enough. If you get up quickly, if you give up your back and get up quickly, I feel like it works, and people don't do it. They're afraid to give up their backs, which I understand it's dangerous, but if you're already losing anyway, it's at least worth a shot, right? Hey, buddy. You're blocking the stream. This is Caesar. He was a tiny little puppy the first time he came on the show. Sean Sterling said, I remember when Caesar was a little baby. And now he's like 70 pounds, and he's not even a year old yet. Buddy, you are like in the middle of the stream. Now it's because I have the chewy sticks. You can't have another one yet. Ow. Buddy. Ow. Fighters accepting guard and closing their guard instead of escaping is always tough to watch. I agree. And I'm not saying like just stand up. Like, obviously, like, more technical advice than that, but like, create space. Use your knee shield. Like, frame with your arms. Rose, her immediate response when she's on her back is to throw as many up kicks as she can to create that space. Like, there's so many ways to create space. At least test it. Yeah. I bit my tongue, guys. Caesar, like, lifted his head up. He has a really hard head. You're not getting another chew stick. I just gave you one. Buffalo Wild Wing logo needs some blood on it. Too clean halfway through the main. It honestly hasn't really been it's been a fun card, other than this fight. It's been a fun card, but not really a bloody card. There hasn't really, no big cuts or anything. She isn't throwing up subs or anything. Not good. Let me go back to, oh, I'm freezing. No. Uh-oh. I'm good now. Okay. Sorry. My signal must have been bad for a second. Let's go back to some of these comments from earlier. Somebody was asking about the PI. I missed so many comments. I'm sorry. Let's see. Oh, now Lucendo's coming out hot, and oh. Is Lemos the worst title challenger in the history of the UFC? It's the name of the cross-eyed chick. That's Verna Jandarova. And Lucendo's on top this time. Let's see if Lemos's defense and get up is better than Lucendo's. Verna is like, that girl is a savage, and her wrestling is so freaking good. Where are we at? Here we go. Okay, the UFC PI. I think there's positives and negatives to the PI. Yes. I know the fighters, like, they eat for free. Like, if you're young and you just can't afford training and good quality food, like, yeah, the PI is a cheat code. You eat for free, you train for free. It is a really beautiful facility, but the downside is there's lots of people at the PI, and if you train together all the time, you may not want to fight. Obviously, we run into this problem at ATT as well because there's so many guys, especially in the lightweight division. Like, half the ranked lightweights train at ATT. Like, it's definitely an issue. You know, like Grant and Moicano and Gamrot, like, all train together almost every single day. They don't want to fight each other. But at the PI, you get people coming and going. So you end up training with a lot more people than you would if you all had like a home gym, you know? So I think it has its positives. I also feel like it's not really a team environment. It's like little teams, you know, like you kind of come in with your own teams. Obviously, they do have coaches there, but I think it's just a little less structured, I think, than I personally would like. Some guys really like that. But I really like the structure that we have at ATT. Obviously, I don't work with every single coach. Nobody works with every single coach because there are like over a dozen coaches. But because we have so many different coaches, you can find somebody that fits your personality and your style, and you can work really solid with them, you know, like build a solid relationship with that team, and you can kind of build your own team within ATT, but then you also have the big team environment, you know? So I love it. I love it. I love the vibe. We have a beautiful facility, everything you could pretty much need. Wrestling room, weights, ropes. We have 2 cages. It's pretty sick. Did you see, dude, that was actually nasty. I don't know if you guys watch the UFC Fight Pass Invitationals, if you're grappling people or not, but Helena Cravar is a savage. That girl is scary. And usually she wears this like real cute, like matchy outfit. And I feel like they didn't let her wear it, and that's why she was out for blood, because that was one of the nastiest calf slicers I've ever seen in my life. Oh, and look, Lemos got back to her feet. She created space. Took her a while to do it, but now she's back on top. And I expect her to be here for the next minute and a half. And I am honestly very interested to see what these striking numbers are for this fight, because it seems like it's going to be like 10. There were very few strikes thrown in this entire fight. Lucendo's coach is giving it to her right now. This is something this should have been dealt with in camp. Like, I have a hard time believing that if she was practicing getting up properly, that her habits would be this in this moment, you know? Fighting's hard, guys. Fighting is really hard. And maybe she feels something in there that we can't see, but I feel like these get-ups have not been drilled enough here. I think I kind of like the ropes and island fights used more than the cage. Speak for yourself. I love the cage. I would hate to fight in a boxing ring. But that is because I love to wrestle on the cage. And it definitely would encourage more striking. But I am very glad that there is a cage in MMA, because it's MMA and it's not striking. So, yeah, Lemos by easy decision here. I mean, Lucendo was on top for most of this round, but I feel like nobody did damage. So it's kind of like, do you give it to who had more control time, or do you give it to who finished the round on top? Because it's kind of, if you finish the round on top, like, you can assume typically that you would continue to stay there should the round continue. So I guess really the only question is it 30-27 or 29-28? But that was really, really, really boring to watch. I'm not going to lie. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, with the ropes, you can't grapple against the ropes because you fall through it. I'm saying I need the cage wall. Yeah, no. Still no. It is not the shape of the canvas that is important to me. It's the wall that I can lean against when I'm wrestling people. That is what I need. I will pass on fighting in and a lot of the Asian promotions. When I was like kind of between bosses with how it is with atom weight, where there are very few promotions and very few opportunities, and it's super hard to find fights. We were looking at like Ryzen and some of the Asian promotions, and a lot of them fight in boxing rings, and I was prepared to have to do that. And I was not looking forward to it, but Invicta has a cage, thankfully. Yeah, I promise you, grappling against those ropes does not feel like grappling against the cage. It doesn't. It's not the same. And we do not want it. The fighters do not want it. The wrestlers do not want it. Maybe the strikers want it, but I'll pass on that. And people could fall out too. Did Edson get injured? I honestly have no idea. I haven't seen him, but I haven't been in the gym much because I'm still easing back in from my injury. I can't hear, so I don't know if it's 29-28 or 30-27. So somebody tell me in the comments. But obviously, Lemos won. A very anticlimactic decision. Elle, you would hate Joe Rogan. Yes. No, I don't hate Joe Rogan, but I do hate that. I absolutely hate that. It is MMA. Like, if you don't want grappling, go watch. I agree, Mike. I agree. That was a rough one. I know it was unanimous, but was it 29-28 or 30-27? Because I have my sound off. Oh, Miss America's there. Oh, she's so cute. Her little bedazzling. Dude, no. If you if you don't like grappling, don't watch MMA. Go watch striking. My immediate argument for people that don't want to watch grappling is why, if people want to watch striking more, why is Muay Thai watched so much less than the UFC? People like MMA. It's more fun, I promise. You and Grant on the same card would be cool. The UFC would have to add my weight class, but that would be actually not cool. I would not want to do that. We probably would never do that, to be completely honest. Unfortunately, we alternate on fight camps when we're both, like when I'm healthy and we're both fighting. Like, we try not to be in fight camp at the same time because it's brutal. Like, we both have tough weight cuts. It really helps to have a partner that can complement and kind of pick up the slack when you're in fight camp. So it's really, really hard to do that together at the same time, you know? Like when he's in fight camp, he needs to be selfish. I need to step up. When I'm in fight camp, I need to be selfish, and he steps up for me. So I would really rather us never be on a card together or even in fight camp remotely at the same time. Grant would take these guys down, no problem. They wouldn't be able to stand against a cage. Yeah, but then you also can't wrestle against the cage. I like the cage. I really do. I guess that you can't move up to 115. I really can't, man. I am too small. I know it sounds like it's not that big of a difference, but it really is. Like, I've trained with Joanna, and she walks around probably 30 pounds heavier than I do. Not always, but like at her heaviest. She's at least 20 pounds heavier than me at her heaviest when I'm at my heaviest. Like, it's just not the same. I would probably cut about 4 pounds to make 105 or to make 115. These other girls are cutting 15, 20 or more pounds to make 115. Like, and then they rehydrate and they get back up to that size, and I would still be like under 120. Like, I would end up fighting girls like on fight night that are 15 to 20 pounds heavier than I am. It's makes such a big difference, especially at these lighter weights. Like at heavyweight, yeah, you can be 230 and I can be 260 because 30 pounds doesn't mean as much when we're both well over 200 pounds. But like 10 pounds, is almost 10% of my body weight. Think about that. Like when I make 105, 10 pounds is almost 10% of my body weight. So it's a huge difference. How many push-ups can you do? I honestly don't know. So I haven't been like super vocal about it, but the reason I'm out right now and I'm easing back into training is I just came back from, I had a really bad herniated disc in my neck. So I still have like a lot of weakness running up this arm. So I haven't really tried to do very many push-ups lately, but if it gets slow later and you guys want to see me try to do push-ups, I guess I can just do them on the stream. Like, why not? I don't mind. All right, Alex Pereira is in the building with a leather jacket and no shirt. Dude just does what he wants. I'm not going to tell him. I'm not going to tell him not to. Why am I thinking Volk is going to win? Diego didn't look as great his last 2 fights. I mean, I think that's a very fair assessment just off the strength of schedule. Like, I look at who Volkanovski has beat, and he's only losing to Ilya, who is an absolute monster. Diego Lopez, you know, I think he's talented, but I think this title shot is coming way too soon. Like, his best win is probably Ortega, who I just feel like he didn't look great. Like, Ortega didn't look good. He lost the 3rd round to Dan Ige, who took the fight on 4 hours notice. Like, you know, I don't think he's ready, and he may be. I know he's not like a spring chicken. He's 30. So I understand, like, it's probably now or never, but like the dude's wins, I'll list every single win he has at 145. Gavin Tucker, Pat Sabatini, Sadiq Youssef, Dan Ige, and Brian Ortega. Didn't beat Movsar, didn't beat an Arnold Allen, you know, didn't beat a Max Holloway. I know he's at lightweight now, but he was in the division at him at the same time. Didn't beat a Josh Emmett or a Yair Rodriguez. Like, he's skipping a lot of steps, you know? So I just don't think he's ready for Volk. I think Volk has just so much experience, but Volk also has the after 35 curse, you know, where you do get a little bit slower, especially in these really competitive weight classes like 145 and 155. If you lose a little bit of reaction time, it really can be tough. And that's like you said, however, Lopez hits like a truck. He definitely has power. He also is very reckless with his power. So if Volk can take him down, I honestly don't know. I know Lopez has good jiu-jitsu. I just don't see him subbing Volk. I don't think Volk has anything to sub. Dude doesn't have a neck. He's like a meatball. I think it'd be incredibly, incredibly hard to submit Volk. We saw him fight out of one of the deepest guillotines ever when he fought Ortega. Ilya was different because of the way he was beating people. And Emmett, I feel like, is a more justifiable move up to a title shot than and also the way he beat Emmett. He absolutely annihilated Emmett. You have closest fight with Dan Ige on a less than a day's notice for Ige, and then Ortega, who's been really injured, really inconsistent, and just hasn't been looking great. I just feel like those I don't see it the same way, you know? And the way he was beating them, like you see decisions from Diego and then just monstrous performances from Ilya. Sorry. Volk fought Max, who was probably the best boxer. I think he's ready for Diego. Ilya smashed Emmett. Ilya took years off Emmett's life. It's like I said, it's the way he was beating them. Like, Diego isn't beating people the way Ilya was beating people. It's my observation. I could be totally wrong. There are absolutely guys that make it to the championship, and if they beat the best guy that there is on that day, then they're the best in the world. That's how we have a benchmark for this. I could be wrong, but I just don't think he's prepared for a guy like Volk, who's just so well-rounded. He has very few holes. I don't think I don't think Diego has the knockouts that against high level guys that people think he does, you know? I don't see him catching Volk the way, like the only person to ever do that to Volkanovski is Ilia Topuria. And he has way cleaner boxing, and he sets, his range is a lot cleaner. He's more technical with his boxing than Diego. So I don't see it personally, but I could be wrong. Volk is getting older, but Volk's footwork seems like it would be frustrating to get reads on him. He's super explosive. Like he does something, Michael Chandler does this well as well. He just lacks the fight IQ to utilize it as well as Volkanovski does. But that explosiveness of being able to move from point A to point B so quickly that it's not a detriment to him that he is shorter than a lot of these guys. So Volk has had a lot of time compared to when Ilia knocked him right after. Yeah, that's true. Like he did come back after like the knockout to Islam pretty quickly to the Ilia fight. So he's had a lot more time. He probably is more recovered. He's probably back in the gym feeling himself again. You know, those losses are tough, you know. So he's had the time to kind of just come back to himself, you know. Sean O'Malley was fast-tracked to a title shot. And do I think there's guys that he didn't fight that would have beat him before he got to the title? Yes. Did it matter? No, because he beat the best guy on that night, you know? So he was the best guy in the world for a while. Now he's not, you know, it's the way of things. I'm not saying that you can't win a belt that way. I'm just saying the guy you do that from is not usually Alexander Volkanovski. Will you and Grant be at 314 next month? I don't know. The UFC has never given Grant tickets anytime he's asked for them. So maybe we'll ask. I can't remember what day it's on, actually. I have a busy month next month because PFL is starting. So I am in Orlando like every week in April. So I don't even know if I'll be here that weekend. I might be in Orlando. So I don't know. That is a great question. Alex Pereira, different weight class, way less competitive weight class. And once again, was demolishing guys. I'm not, you keep bringing these arguments. I'm not arguing with you that there weren't people that were fast-tracked to a weight class. I'm talking about the way Diego Lopez is beating people is not indicative of this spot. You are falling on deaf ears here. What do we think of Grant's theory? He said the other day that he thinks Izzy sold his soul to the devil. I mean, it makes kind of sense. It kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense here. Like, he just hasn't looked, he hasn't looked as good. I will say this, Israel Adesanya looked very good before he got caught by Imavov. I do not think that, I don't think he is like completely done. Some people like freaked out when he lost to Imavov and was like, oh, he's washed. I don't think he's washed. He still looked twitchy. He still looked fast. He was still kicking well. He still looked dangerous. And you could see it on Imavov's face too. When Izzy started twitching and feigning in front of him, you saw Imavov go, oh, shoot, I need to shoot. Like, I need to wrestle. So it's like he still has it, but I just can't put it together right now. The downside too of being at the top of the division is you can't really fight backwards too far. So it's like once you get a little bit older and you maybe lose a step, it's like you're still fighting the absolute best guys in the division. They can't go back and have Izzy fight unranked guys, you know, even though I'm sure he beats 99% of them at this point. But you can't have that, you know. Christian is taking Sean O'Malley's title run very personally. He did look good against Jan. I thought Jan won that fight, but it was close enough that I had to give O'Malley a little bit of respect there. And he beat Aljo, who was the best guy at the time. He was beating everybody. Chama. Devil finally took his chin last night. Dang. What do we think of Grant's theory? Oh, we already did that. Lopez coming off 2 decisions. It's not just that they're decisions. I just feel like it wasn't, like the Ige fight wasn't super dominant, you know? He looked good against Ortega, but I felt like Ortega looked not good at all, which is why I'm like, But Izzy has always fought fighters with a smaller reach prior to Imavov. He would capitalize on being the toddler. Yeah. And Imavov set it up really, really nicely too. Like he trap sets well. There's a method to it, you know? And I don't want to discount Imavov either. Like I thought he did really well. And I think Izzy's loss to him will age very well as well. You saw the video of Cheeto almost getting robbed in his driveway. Dude, Cheeto loves guns. I wouldn't be messing with him. All right, guys. This is the best fight on the card, so we all got to focus. We got to focus. Whew. Oh, Bahamondes landed early, but didn't seem to do much to Jaylen Turner. Man, he is as tall, just about as tall as Turner. Maybe right as tall. And their open stance, too. I think that makes it super interesting. That, like, slide cross, that throw your head off the side and throw that cross like Bahamondes is doing there. Oh, he's switching some. So it'll be some close stance, but I think he's just closing the stance to make it just to move and then going right back to orthodox. Ooh, Turner kicked the body hard there. Bahamondes felt it. He's wrestling. Yeah, I think Turner is going to finish Bahamondes in this round. I really do. I just feel like he's getting the better of him in these exchanges on the feet. And Bahamondes has assumed the Yasmin Lucendo position with closed guard holding Turner in place on top of him. There we go. Turner's opening him up with some elbows. I mean, that's what you have to do. I just think it's difficult to do that for smaller women. Like it's really hard to do enough damage to make people let go of you and create some space. There you go. If I were Turner, I would have backed out there and had him get up. He was doing so well on the feet. Obviously, it's always safer to be on the ground on top, and I'm always going to choose to be on the ground and on top, but I felt like he was looking really good on the feet, and now he's kind of tied up here. Ooh. Bahamondes tried to sweep, but no, didn't get it. Some elbows off the bottom. And then he's back to tying up Turner. I'd like to see Turner throw some more elbows. There you go. Just up. Just get up. There you go. Stand up. Stand up. Back out. I feel like he could do so much damage on the feet. And then he wouldn't be in danger here because, ooh, that's tight. Ooh, that's tight. Oh, shoot. Oh, he should have backed out. Turner. Oh, dude got triangled. I told you, my man. Oh, much better jiu-jitsu. I agree. Turner had him hurt on the feet. That's why Ignacio started wrestling so heavily. If he had backed up there, I really think he could have hurt him. Bad decisions. I was with you, Mike. I was with you, but didn't happen. I felt too confident. Tell me he didn't just make a silly decision. I mean, against Turner, like when you have the grappling advantage, but, well, what a shame. I like them both, but all of the CKB fighters fight the same way. Counter-striking style with less head movement and more pull counters. Yeah. Hooker, I wouldn't really necessarily consider that, but I think he's got a lot more pressure. But yeah. Is that Caesar I hear breathing? Can you hear that? No, that's Co. Co's snoring. Oh, I don't think you can hear him. Lost $8 more. Dominic is a heavy better here. Should have stood up. That's what I said, Mike. That's all I said. Back out of the guard. You have him hurt on the feet. I'm like, no, he couldn't hear me through the TV. So, dang. I was really hoping for at least a round and a half of that. I'm kind of disappointed it was over. So there was so little striking. I'm so bummed. I like hyped that fight up so much in my mind. And now it just, yeah, I let myself down. They should remake Turner versus Alvarez still. 100%. Yes, they should. I would love to see that fight. He annihilated Drakkar Klose's face. Now give me Gaethje and Ankalaev, and I cash my parlay. There you go, Sean. Ignacio versus Grant next. I'm for it, but I feel like Ignacio's not going to want to fight right away, you know? Like he's not going to, well, maybe. The only thing that looks a little sore on him is the red spot where he got kicked, but on his ribs, but so maybe. I actually think I'd rather watch Bahamondes versus Alvarez. But Turner versus Alvarez is a guaranteed striking match. Bahamondes will probably wrestle because up until recently, Joel Alvarez had a 0% takedown defense ratio. Had not stopped a single shot in the UFC until I think maybe the Mark Jacasey fight. Yeah. So I would be wrestling like crazy on that guy if I was Bahamondes. Imagine a Hooker versus Alvarez. That would be really fun too. I'm sorry, I do not speak Spanish. I cannot translate your comment on here. Sorry. I feel he's ready after that performance. Bilal coaching him up. We have Bilal and Jack Della Maddalena coming up, which was not a matchup that was on my early 2025 bingo card. No hablo español. What did you write? Espano? I speak a very small amount of Spanish. I can ask where the bathroom is if I am in a Spanish-speaking country, and that is about it. Bilal fighting Jack Della Maddalena coming up is not, like I said, was not on my bingo card. I think that's interesting. I think Bilal probably smashes JDM. I really like JDM, but I feel like Gilbert was out everythinging him, striking, grappling before he got knocked out, and I think Bilal is bigger than Gilbert and has better control. Gilbert's got pretty darn good control, but Bilal rides really well. Like even if you get up, Bilal mat returns incredibly well. I can't see Jack beating him unless he catches him super early. Bilal gonna win unless he's coaching up Pena way too much because she's gonna need it versus Kayla. Dude, she does not want to fight Kayla. That fight should have been signed months ago. Like there is literally no other fight that makes sense for Juliana Pena at this point in time. She needs to fight Kayla. She obviously doesn't want to because why would you? And Kayla's just waiting for contracts. So I think Kayla fights for the belt next. She's got to. Especially in that weight class. It's one of the shallowest weight classes out there. Like they need a superstar so incredibly badly. And Kayla, she talks well on the mic. She's dominant. She's dangerous. She can finish people. It needs to happen. Kayla will wipe her up. I agree. I've heard. Oh, no, it's probably not happening. I've heard that the professional MMA dude, Cyborg never wanted to fight Kayla. I don't care what she says. Kayla was the aim for that fight, and Cyborg was the one that was not taking it. I've heard that the professional MMA fighter's lifestyle is rough due to the training regime. Your thoughts? I mean, sure, training is hard work, and you get injured, and it can be really tough. But, like, I got to be completely honest. I feel like we live an incredibly blessed life. Like, we essentially work from home. You know, my husband and I, we very rarely have to be apart. We go to the gym together. We come home together. We get to take good care of our doggos. When we have kids, we're going to get to be really, really involved in their lives. Like, we're not going to be working from 8 a.m. to 5, 6 p.m. and miss out on big parts of their lives. You know, like, we have a lot of time freedom. We get to, Christopher J., I will block you. No, I'm kidding. I won't. Yeah, it's just, yeah, I think you said it best here. You know, it's higher highs and lower lows, but it really is a blessing what we get to do. Like, we get to go to the gym and play with our friends every day. We are very blessed. And it hasn't always been like this. Obviously, there's a lot of work that got to this point. Grant and I both used to have to work day jobs, and it's really awesome that we don't anymore. But I guess this is kind of my day job now, which is pretty dope. So literally all I have to do is fight and talk about fights and watch fights. That's my life now. And hang out with my dogs. Oh, they're sleeping. They're so cute. Yeah, it really is a blessing. Like, yes, it's hard work, and it's also really high risk. So I think that's what people see, and that's what scares them, because, like, here's my thought process. You can always find a job you hate. It's not that hard. They're everywhere. Like, if you just need a job to make money, you can always find one. But the time in your life that you have, drugs are really entertaining. Is that what DARE stands for? The time in your life that you have to chase your high risk dreams is so finite and so short, then you have to take it. If you don't take it, you're stupid. Like, I can always go work in an office. I can do that at any point in my life. But I only get to do this for a short amount of time. So it's worth it to chase it. Compared to a lot of other sports, MMA fighters tend to not miss fighting after they retire. Oh, I disagree. Why do you think the GFL exists? These fighters miss it so much. We crave competition. Volkanovski was depressed just thinking about the possibility of retirement before he even retired. Almost every fighter I know, when they're not in camp, they are depressed. Like, it's tough. Like, I've been without a fight for 2 years. It's incredibly tough. When you thrive off competition and you don't get to compete anymore, it takes your purpose away. So I don't know. That's not what I've seen from my experience. Let's see. I look forward to having Kayla as a champion, 100%. Dude, she's going to be a fantastic champion. And honestly, the only person that I don't think she'll come out of retirement to fight her, but the only person that might get Amanda out of retirement to fight her. If Grant gets a Toyo Tires commercial in the future, will he let Dustin be the guy who loses to him? That would actually be hilarious. I bet you maybe Dustin would do that. He's a pretty cool dude. Let's see. Oh, I already put that up. I don't know if it was PFL that didn't make the Cyborg fight happen, or Cyborg, but I know that Kayla was game. So, but yeah, I don't think the unboxing makes much sense. I don't think Cyborg's gonna fight again, to be honest. Maybe they're just coping when they say they don't miss fighting. I think so. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There's a handful of cases of transgender MMA matches, and I have seen broken orbitals and broken noses, but I have only ever seen one really badly fractured skull in men's MMA ever. And that was when, I don't know if you guys remember, I'm sure you remember, it was iconic, and it still gets passed around on Instagram. It went super viral when Cyborg got kneed, and the dude Cyborg, not female Cyborg, got his forehead caved in by Michael Venom Page. That's the only time I've ever seen something like that. There was a transgender fighter that fractured a couple of women's skulls, and also wasn't super good. So it's a safety issue. It's a safety issue. It absolutely should not be allowed. Oh, I mean, yeah, if they want to fight each other, that's cool. I mean, yeah, I'm down for them to have their own sport and their own divisions. I'm cool with that. I think sport's good for everybody, but I don't think that biological men belong in female sports. So without getting too political, that is my official stance on that. Yeah, no, I'm for opening up more combat sports for more people. Have you or Grant had any bad injuries? You have come to the right place, my friend. Grant has no injuries ever. He is, knock on wood. He is a surprisingly durable man. I, on the other hand, have had 5 knee surgeries. I've had both my ACLs. I've torn both my ACLs, and I've had 3 meniscus surgeries. 1 on my left knee and 2 on my right knee. And I am currently dealing with back problems. I'm very small, though, so the recovery is boring and rough compared to training. Like, training in the gym is so much fun. Going to physical therapy and doing like the same things to you basically have metal legs. No, so actually, it's actually really cool. I saw a video, like the surgeon took a video of one of my ACL surgeries, so I got to kind of see how they do it. Some people are into that. I think it's cool. Some people think it's gross. But what they did on, I think both of them, they did hamstring. Yeah. So they took a piece of my hamstring tendon. You can't see, but like down here, my hamstring, and they turned that into my new ACL. How insane is that they can do that? So your ACL, like it has no blood flow. So that's why you can't it can't heal itself if it tears. So that's why people will tear like their MCL, their LCL, and it'll heal back. If it's not like a total nasty tear, like if it's partially torn, it'll heal back because it has lots of blood flow on the sides. The way your ACL is, there's almost no blood flow to the ACL. So you run into this issue of it can't heal itself. So they literally have to make you a new one and then attach the tissue so that it just forms together. So like my ACL, what was left of it was like a weird little tendon hole, like hole as in like the hole of a ship, not like hole, So it's like honestly like a corn husk almost. And they just shoved my hamstring tendon through that and attached it back to my knee. How nuts is that? So they did that on both my ACLs, and I have never re-torn an ACL. So the surgeons who have done my ACL surgeries have done a fantastic job. So what keeps you motivated? To keep fighting after 5+ leg surgeries, and do you believe the trade-off will be rewarding in the end? No, I'm happy to answer the questions. I actually follow the knees over toes guy. He does have a lot of good stuff. I use a lot of it in my physical therapy, to be honest. I'll answer this question really quickly because Fiziev is walking to the cage. And then obviously we all need to watch this fight because it's going to be a banger. And it needs to be a banger because the last one wasn't a banger and I'm bummed. But, it's like a lot of it's God. Like I truly love what I do, A. So it's like I can't imagine my life without MMA, without at least training. But I really do love to compete. I'm still chasing getting a world title. I don't think that's out of reach for me. That's since the day I met Grant, we told each other what our goal was, and both of our goals were to win a world title, and we have supported each other through that, as best as we can as a couple and as partners, But I honestly, like, the way I see it now, every time a new injury pops up, like, I just tell myself this is a new part of my testimony. And when I get to that belt, like, I'll get to stand there and be like, look what God did with broken old me and what they were able to create, what he was able to create through me, because it's not me, it's God. So, it's just part of the journey, right? Like, I love what I do and I'm not ready to be done. I might feel that way different. Like if I have another major injury, like who knows how I'll feel that day. But as of right now, like, God's got me, and I'm going to keep trucking on till I get that belt. So got to be relentless till the end. Get that title. Let's go. Do you ride the scooter when you go to Disney? Actually, it's funny. I had ACL surgery shortly before one of the Game Bread cards that was in Orlando. And I rolled up and we went to Maddie and Dave and I all went to downtown Disney. Yeah. Or Disney Springs. I don't remember. One or the other. And Maddie had to push me around. I had my brace on and everything, and Maddie wheeled me around the whole place in a little wheelchair. But Fiziev at -155 is unreal value. I must be crazy. I'm surprised to see Gaethje as an underdog here. I must be nuts. Yeah, get your picks in, guys, because I am genuinely curious about this fight. We kind of got away from the picks on the last fight, but a few people did. But like, seriously, tell me what you think. Who is winning this fight and how? And how are we going to get another 3 rounds of awesomeness, or is this going to be a finish? Knee stomps? Oh, oblique kicks? Yeah, that's a dick move. Excuse my French. I hate that. I hate that stuff. But I mean, it's not. Nobody's ever really done that to me, to be honest. Like, not a lot of girls do that. You got to be like really rangy and athletic. It's kind of dangerous. Elle was hobbling around at Game Bread in Orlando. She's a trooper. I mean, that's right. Chris was there. Yeah, I was like, there's a picture of me and Jorge with my leg all braced up somewhere on Instagram. Justin by KO. Mike is the only person watching, apparently, that wants to give us picks. Let's see. I'm with you. I don't want to count out Justin here. I am definitely in the minority, though. Gaethje gonna win. I'm gonna say second round TKO. Fiziev gonna fall out of the rankings for Ruffy. I mean, you think they'd rank Ruffy that high? No, I didn't tear my ACL 5 times. I tore each ACL once. I have 2 of them. I tore each one time. That's it. The other surgeries were meniscus surgeries and menisces. They're very easy to tear. Most athletes have torn meniscuses, so they just took out the torn piece of my meniscus. Those surgeries were very minor. I was back training within like 2 months from meniscus surgeries. So Fiziev is a low-key lucrative pick here, all right? Fiziev by decision. We have 2 for Gaethje, 2 for Fiziev. Maybe not that high, but 14, maybe 14, and guys behind Fiziev go up for 1 spot, maybe. I could see them bumping, because who's 15 right now? Grant's 14. Let's see. Let's pull her up while we're waiting for Gaethje to get in the cage. UFC rankings. All right. We have Benoit Saint-Denis. So they probably boot because Bobby Green wasn't ranked and he hasn't been ranked in a while. So usually if you beat somebody unranked and get ranked, they just stick you at 15. So they'll probably boot Benoit Saint-Denis and put him at Ruffy at 15 is my guess. Fiziev is 11 right now. So he'll probably stay right there because he's so much lower than Gaethje. It doesn't really make sense to move him if he loses. You know, I would think they'd leave him there. Justin need my last $8 to hit. Dominic's killing me here with the betting. If Fiziev loses, he's at 11 right now. Yeah. VSD probably gets knocked out. Yeah, I agree. Fiziev 15? That doesn't make any sense. No. They're not going to drop him from 11 to 15 for losing to the number 3 ranked dude. How does that make sense? No, Ruffy shouldn't be above 15 for beating Green. Green hasn't been ranked in a while. And he's not on a big win streak either. Doesn't make sense. Ruffy will be at 15. Fiziev stays where he's at. Maybe goes down 1, but you can't bump him from 11 to 14 for losing to the number 3 guy. Somebody just drop in a bunch of hashtags. Arizona boxing. Tagging people. Team Cain Velasquez. Love Cain Velasquez. Greatest heavyweight. The best. The best. 3-fight losing streak. No, not necessarily. If that were the case, nobody would ever get ranked because the ranked guys very rarely fight backwards. No, Grant got ranked from fighting. Usually you fight, if you're on a big win streak and you fight a really tough guy, like Grant got ranked because he beat Diego Ferreira and is on like a 5-fight win streak. 4 or 5. I don't even know. I should probably know. That's my husband. Like, then they'll rank you, but they'll rank you like 15. And then you kind of go up. And I think that's why they flip-flopped Grant and Benoit Saint-Denis, because that was kind of random. So I think it's because they want to keep Grant. They know that there's a bunch of lightweight fights coming up and somebody new will probably get ranked, but they don't want to boot Grant because they think he belongs in the rankings. So they switched him and BSD so that they can boot BSD is my theory. I don't really know how this goes down because there doesn't seem to always be a great system in place for the rankings, but they usually have a reason. Usually. Turner. I mean, I think they'll put Turner's 13. I could see them moving Grant. Maybe they put Ruffy at 13, move Turner to 15. Oh no, that doesn't make sense either. Yeah, maybe they boot BSD and Jaylen Turner. Okay, the fight's starting. We got to shut up. All right. I think Fiziev stays where he's at if he loses. I don't think it makes sense to move him. You only go down if you lose to somebody way that's lower than you or like really close to you in the rankings. Like, just because you lose to the number 3 ranked guy doesn't mean you would lose to number 4 through 10, you know? Like, oh, wow. That was nice. See what Gaethje does off his back. See, a guy like Fiziev, you should definitely give up your back to get up because he's not taking your back. His legs are literally too short. Nice quick get up from Gaethje. And right back to the takedown from Fiziev. Oh, nice. Oh, that was a sick scramble. Fiziev is... This is not how I expected this fight to go. Fiziev immediately grappling, has him in a mounted triangle. Mounted reverse triangle. I don't know if it's not tight enough to finish, but he can, he's just beating the piss out of Gaethje's body here. There you go, up, 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 up. Give the people what they want. 3 rounds of chaos. Bro, what is happening? That was wild. I don't think I've ever seen that position. It's not common. Oh, I think they're letting them choose if they want to wear the new gloves or not, I guess. But they don't have the logo on the new ones because those definitely look like the new ones. They're way more curved. Right? Or am I making this up? I'm pretty sure they can pick if they want to wear them or not. They should just buy Trevor Whitman's gloves because those are they look super nice. I think that's what the UFC should do. But I don't think Whitman wanted to give up his ability to sell them to other people. The UFC wanted to officially own the glove. Yeah, they definitely look like they're the new gloves. But I'm not gonna... Don't quote me on that. Logo rubbed off in warm-ups. some rough warm-ups there. That 100% is. That's the meme position when it says when your parents walk in and you're watching UFC. 100%. Ooh. Lots of pressure from Fiziev. I wonder if he can keep the pace for 3 rounds. Like he said he was not training before he took the fight. So question whether or not he'll be, in peak shape. I mean, obviously he looks in shape, but see how his cardio looks. Oh, nice body kick. He's just not respecting Gaethje's punches at all. Like, Gaethje's wrestling offensively now. Fiziev looks strong here. It's hard to wrestle guys that short. It's hard to get in on the legs on a guy that's like a literal meatball. I feel like RDA is a phenomenal wrestler, and he struggled very much to both get and keep Fiziev down. He did manage to, but it was definitely a lot of work. And Fiziev's not like a super big guy. I just think it's really hard to shoot that low, you know? Slip not the knee. Ooh, that was a nice strike from Gaethje. Gaethje using clinch more than trying for takedown. I mean, I think when he shoots a normal takedown, he ends up on the body on Fiziev instead of the legs because he's so short. Which parts of training do you like and hate the most? I will answer that question in 20 seconds at the end of this round. Ooh. I mean, obviously, Fiziev's round. It's just everything Gaethje's throwing just isn't making it doesn't have any effect on Fiziev. Fiziev is landing significantly harder. All right. Obviously, Fiziev's first round, but we shall see. Which parts of training do you like and hate the most? I like wrestling and grappling. I hate striking. That's not entirely true. I love MMA training. Like Mike Brown's class is like my favorite. And it's all about just mixing things together, using my striking to set up my wrestling. Like I love Mike's style of MMA and just his style of training. I really like the technical aspect of drilling. I get really excited about the details, especially in grappling. Striking doesn't click as well for me. I feel like I have a natural inclination towards grappling, and it just clicks a lot better. It flows a lot better for me. So I really enjoy, especially fine tuning submissions and just finding those details that make things better. I love that part. I hate conditioning. I hate kicking the bag. Those are my despises. Anyway, all right. Round 2. All right. Gaethje's stalking him down. I feel like Gaethje needs to start early. He can't let Fiziev get momentum here, because as soon as Fiziev had momentum, he just steamrolled him the first round. There you go. I like that. He's cutting him off really well. I'm genuinely curious if Fiziev is starting to reserve some energy since he didn't get Gaethje out of there in the first round. He's definitely not. He's moving back a little bit more, you know. The way he throws did he punch him in the cup? 2 types of MMA fighters. Those who despise grappling, those who despise striking. Yes. Yes, there are. I would like to see that replay. Was it from the kick or the punch? Oh, no. Never mind. Oh, here we go. Oh, no, it was the kick. Just took a minute for Gaethje to stop, I guess. He's just not landing anything of consequence. Fiziev's just walking through everything Gaethje's throwing. I liked his plan the first fight. He attacked that was nice. He attacked the calf really, really well on Fiziev. I feel like because Fiziev is pressuring so hard, it's really hard for him to kick right now. If he kicks, he's going to be off balance and, either get taken down or rocked. What's up? Gross skin on Fiziev's toe. I can't see it from this angle. Oh, did he tear the skin under his foot? What's up with Fiziev's foot? I honestly can't tell. What's going on? Or Gaethje's hurt foot? I think he looks okay. I mean, he doesn't look great in this fight, but his foot doesn't look bad, I don't think. You might be right. Fiziev might have messed up his right foot. He seems kind of weird on it right now, but I can't tell. Are they saying anything with the commentary? Because remember, I have no sound. So you guys are Ooh, nice, nice, nice. Woo, that was slick. Oh, he should have gone for something there. Put himself right back there. Missed the kick. Landed the punch. Fiziev had some skin rip off his big toe. Ow. I will say that, like, if you guys look at the wrestlers, like, look at their knees after the fights in the UFC. The UFC canvas is unforgiving. Like, it is, obviously it's great that it's super grippy, but it just tears your skin off. Oh, nice. Gaethje's definitely having a much better round. I like how he's landing off the clinch too. You haven't heard anything. Why does Gaethje never wrestle? I mean, in his defense, he did kind of try earlier, but he took Fiziev down in their first fight in like the last like 10 seconds just to say he could. But I don't know. He actually has pretty solid wrestling. Like, I don't know. To me, you should always wrestle. It's the easiest path to victory. Oh! Oh, let's go! Nasty, who said Gaethje TKO second round? I know somebody said that in the comments. You could be coming here. It could be coming here. USA. Gaethje now is definitely landing the better strikes. I agree. He's landing a lot cleaner. I feel like Fiziev, it's like super explosive, but Gaethje's definitely landing cleaner now. It's not really a lot of time to finish anything here unless you already had it locked up. I would almost just say do as much damage as you can. Nice. Beautiful. Yeah, no, he landed well at the end of the first time. He landed a couple at the end of the first round, but definitely much improved round for Gaethje. And Fiziev's face is looking a little battered. Woo! Nice. 1-1. Let's go. Are we gonna get to the scorecards, guys? Or are we seeing a third round finish? What are you guys thinking? Is that a 10-8 to these judges? Maybe these judges. Yep, 1-1 going into the third. Absolutely. No. You know I can't. Don't ask. It was the uppercut he hit Tony with. That guy's stupid. KO Justin in the third. I'm here for it. I think he's hurt him already. He absolutely can. Absolutely can. All right. Let's do this. Round 3. And then we've got maybe 5 rounds of Ankalaev and Pereira. Maybe like a round and a half, honestly. I don't even know. Somebody asked earlier what happened to betting bananas, and I forgot to answer that, but I will do that after this fight. I can't remember who that was, but yeah, that ducking into the clinch, coming over the top is exactly what Gaethje needs to keep doing. I feel like at range, Fiziev is just a little quicker. Ooh, careful there. God, he kicks so fast. Such an explosive guy. There you go. Nice. I like this from Gaethje. Like, he's not wrestling to actually get the takedown. It's like touch the leg, come over the top. Get him thinking about something else. I feel like this is perfect. Hey, let her do her thing. She just wants to watch fights and look pretty. We need more female fans in the sport. I'm here for it. Ooh, that was really nice. That was a great combo. Oh, shit. Excuse me. Mm. Justin! Justin! There you go. Nice uppercut. Oh, and a good knee from Fiziev, too. I love how he kicks. When he kicks the... Oh, that was sick. That was so freaking cool. When Fiziev kicks the body, it's literally just like, oh, that was a nice body shot. He just kicks in such a straight line. Like, it's really hard to block. Like, Gaethje sees it, puts his elbow down, and Fiziev just fits it right in underneath the elbow. Super nice. I like that. Keep coming over the top. This is a close round. I think Fiziev's taking it. Oh! And then a good combo from Gaethje. Let's go. Nice. There you go. Nice knee. Let's go. There you go, Justin. Just an elbow to the dome. Got me reading to get picks. Oh, that's right. I wrote an article. I forgot about that. I was like, what are you talking about? Effective, especially when you're fast. If you're fast and explosive, yeah. Go. This here on the cage. I feel like Gaethje needs to have some big moments to solidify this round. Super close round, and Fiziev has landed some really good shots. I don't think I've ever seen somebody slip like that in the UFC octagon. Come on, Justin. Come on, Justin. I normally wouldn't like people ducking like that, like he does, but it's working well for him to get that, like, kind of into the clinch, come over top. How are you guys scoring this round right now? I guarantee one judge scores this 29-27, Gaethje. Nice shot. See, he's a freaking meatball. Took a good shot, too. He's so darn short. Help me out, guys. Who won this round? Come on. 45 seconds left. Pretty darn close. Any chance Gaethje's getting this? He has one more significant strike this round. Oh, that was nice. I feel like he's finishing strong. Oh, spoke too soon. Nice. I'm surprised they haven't headbutted each other yet. They're both kind of like coming in. Nice. Oh. I don't like. Oh. Whew. Gaethje gonna get the W. Sean has Gaethje winning 2-1. Gaethje won the second half of the third round. I agree. I'm just wondering if his moments, how do we score that? I don't know, because Fiziev seems like he had slightly bigger moments, but I do think recency bias is a real thing with judging, where if you win the second half of the round, it's like a bigger, it looks better to judges than if you win the first half of the round, you know? So everybody's saying 29-28, Justin. Let's just remember what happened when we thought we knew for sure who won the Francis Marshall fight. Rock, paper, scissors decides. I'm in. Close fight, guys. What a fight, too. What a fight. Sorry, texting my husband. Okay. All right. I said I would tell you guys what happened to betting bananas. Dave and I got really busy is what happened to betting bananas. I'm sorry. I just can't do a Wednesday night show. Dave does them every now and then with Rafael Esparza, who is awesome, by the way. We have like our very own odds maker that does whatchamacallit. Okay, we're getting the decision. Somebody's got to tell me what the scores are because I have no sound. Here, let me put my subtitles on. Let's see. Okay, it's unanimous. 29-28. Let's go. Gaethje got it. Not as good, Elle. What? What's not? Oh, betting bananas. I'm sorry. I love doing betting bananas, but it requires. He did good for a short notice fight. Yeah, I absolutely agree. By the way, the beef, the drama that was happening in the lightweight division after Justin Gaethje tweeted about all the people who, I guess it's X now, I don't know, made a post on X about all the people who said no to the fight, which obviously Arman was like, I could not have made weight on that short notice. However, Mateusz Gamrot was offered the fight, accepted the fight, and said he could make weight. And apparently Gaethje said he did not want to fight him. So I interviewed Gamrot all about that, and I got the full story from him. And the article, yes, you have to read. I'm sorry, Sean, but the article is on the website. I actually might drop it in the comments section real quick. Because you guys should go check it out and get the scoop on Gamrot, who is awesome, by the way. I love that guy. All right. Boom. It is in the comments on both YouTube and on Facebook. Go read our article about my interview with Gamrot and about how Justin Gaethje didn't want to fight him. But congratulations to Justin Gaethje. Got scraped by against a super, super tough dude. But yeah, I'm sorry that there's no betting bananas. It honestly requires a lot of prep time. Interviewing fighters requires less prep time because is there a chat GPT to summarize all that? It's not that long, Sean. You could probably copy paste it into chat GPT and ask it to give you a 3-sentence summary. Ilya versus Gaethje is a great fight. I don't know if I wish that on Gaethje at this point. I think Ilya is a super tough matchup for Gaethje. It'd be fun until it was over, but I do think he's a very tough matchup. Betting bananas. Like when I interview fighters, I watch fights all the time, and I'm going to watch fights no matter what. That's a little bit different than going back, watching tons of films so that I can make an educated pick. Because if I don't have time to do that homework, I don't feel good giving you guys betting picks. So I just don't have the time, especially as I'm going to be hopefully going into fight camp in the next, several months. I'm back just to the Tuesday show, an occasional watch along, and the Sunday morning brew. But you can always see my lovely face on Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern. You did say he probably would not get a post-fight bonus. I mean, probably not. But also, there weren't like a ton of finishes. So maybe Trump wins by KO. Hotel with Patty. It's a star-studded audience today. All sorts of people in the crowd. It's disappointing that it wasn't Gamrot. Go read my article, guys. And I occasionally write articles. I will do that as well. but yeah, no, I don't have the prep time to do a betting show, unfortunately. I don't want to give you guys half-ass picks. I want to make sure I do my homework if I'm going to tell you where to spend your money. So I just don't have the time. And honestly, I'm not a betting expert. Like, I am picking based on from a fighter's perspective, not from a bettor's perspective. So, I can't give you the best betting strategy, even if I have picks. Song Jin Chung. Where are you joining us from? Song Jin Chung, if I'm saying your name correctly. I am too small for the UFC. I fight at atomweight, 105 pounds, and I am too small for strawweight. So as of right now, nope. I am signed with Invicta, which, if you are not familiar, is an all-female promotion. And they have Maryland. Let's go. It's my first ever Maryland person. If you drop out of Tuesday's show, I'll be highly disappointed. I would never, Sean. I would never. The Tuesday show is still my favorite show. I love the Sunday morning brew, but there's just, I don't know, Tuesdays just have a vibe, I don't think your name is strange. I think it's cool. I think it's super cool. Korean American. Oh, I love Korean food. Korean food is absolutely top notch. My entire Instagram feed is filled with Korean food. Love some Korean barbecue. Yeah, no, I will never drop out of the Tuesday show, Sean. It's so fun. I may take hiatuses here and there, like when I'm in fight camp, but definitely will never be completely off the Tuesday show. All right, let me turn my captions back off so they don't cover up Poetan's face. I can't say mad because it doesn't work as good as disappointed. No, I don't want you to be disappointed in me. That's definitely way worse than being mad. All right, guys, we had a lot of Ankalaevs in the comment section. I don't even remember if anybody was picking Pereira. So it's the main event. Give me your picks. Don't forget to go sub to the YouTube channel, and we will mail you a UFC trading card within the United States. Probably not going to mail them overseas, but I'd love it if we could guarantee a Dawson regardless on Tuesday, even if I was in camp. I'll have to ask Grant about that. I'll take that up with him. I don't know if he would want to replace me for an entire fight camp on Tuesdays for 2 hours every week. I am taking Alex Pereira via second round KO and still. All right, so we have one pick for Alex. I know there were a lot of Ankalaevs in the comments earlier, but if you don't mind, throw them back in the comments for me because I'm not going to scroll back that far. Tell me who you've got. How are they finishing winning? Is it decision? Oh. Somebody told me Ankalaev doesn't wrestle, and they just showed 2 clips of him wrestling. I will say I think he starts wrestling too late sometimes. Like with Jan Blachowicz, I feel like he was down 2 rounds before he started wrestling, and I think that could get him in trouble with Alex if he doesn't wrestle early. So we'll see. It's fine if Grant only does 1 hour. I'll let him know that you will allow him to just do an hour every week. So hard to bet against Alex. I just think Ankalaev has more skills. I actually agree with you, Sean. I think Ankalaev is the more well-rounded fighter. I think specialists do better in the higher weight classes. But also, I think there's just something about Alex's physicality that helps him get away with not necessarily being super well-rounded. And I expect his camp to be very focused on the right kind of wrestling training. I think we see like strikers are like, oh, I'm going to work on my wrestling. And then they start trying to offensively wrestle in fights when in reality, if you're a really, really talented striker, like let's talk about Dakota Ditcheva. Somebody brought her up in the comments earlier. Dakota's striking is obviously phenomenal. So she builds her grappling. If she doesn't try to start wrestling offensively, she's not shooting on people in fights, but she builds her grappling game around her strengths. Jose Aldo, phenomenal striker, builds his grappling game around his strengths. Jose Aldo isn't shooting for takedowns and submitting people, but what he is doing is stopping every single one of Merab Dvalishvili's 16-something like takedown attempts. That is how you build a grappling game around your striking. And I feel like Pereira's camp is good at that. And I think they have the right people in there to do that. Now, if he can make his takedown defense good enough in this amount of time for a guy like Ankalaev, we'll see. We shall see. Tell him he doesn't need to do a card break this week. You are just riding hard on this, aren't you? Pereira KO round 2. All right, so now all the Pereira picks are coming in, and I don't know where all the Ankalaev people went. We have Sean picking Ankalaev. Everybody's changing their minds. I'm going to get a snack. Actually, I want one of these. Get my Built Bar. I'm honestly surprised I'm not more tired. I have not had a cup of coffee since like 8 a.m. today. So I am solely riding on vibes at this point and your comments. So thank you for keeping me entertained. My puppy's dreaming. Can you hear him? Oh, he stopped. I think I woke him up. Sorry, Co. All right. Let's go. I'll let Dave know, Sean, that you think that Fight Bananas is trash when it's just Dave. And there's no Dawsons. All right, let me go back. Let me make sure I didn't miss any comments while we're waiting for these guys to get in the cage. Give me a good parlay. Well, it's too late now. Maybe for next week. Ooh, next week. Let's talk about next week. My teammate is fighting. Marvin Vettori is fighting. This is melting all over my hands. Is fighting Roman Dolidze for the second time? Yeah, for the second time. Super pumped for that. Marvin, this is actually, I'm pretty sure this is Marvin's first fight with ATT. He's been here a while, but he came in, he didn't have a fight for a while, and then he hurt his shoulder. He was supposed to fight Brendan Allen. That fell through because he got injured. So I'm surprised this is Elle's first snack tonight. In my defense, I ate a giant bowl of like spicy garlic chili noodles right before I started the stream, and those were so good. So I made it. I made it a pretty long time without a snack. But yeah, super pumped for Marvin's first ATT fight, so to speak. I agree. Fight Bananas is better with a Dawson. Don't wake the pups. Just let them sleep. I'm sorry. Caesar went and took himself to bed. He's done for the day. I'm going to have to go back and watch this later with the walkout music and just like feel the energy. It just doesn't feel the same with the sound off. But for those of you who keep asking me to turn the camera around, that is how strict Facebook is. If they even pick up the sound for a little bit, we'll get a flag on Facebook, we'll get in trouble, and our page will get taken down. So obviously I cannot show you the fights. Pereira versus John. Oh, John Jones wins that. I love Alex. I think he's a savage, but Jones is the GOAT. Like, I don't like the guy, but he's the best. Like, he's 100% the best. And the size, he absolutely has filled out into heavyweight 100%. Like, he looks like a heavyweight, moves so athletically. He can wrestle so well. And he's also got the length. And I feel like there's something John Jones does people don't always talk about. And he always wins like the last. He just has insane fight IQ. but he always wins like the last 30 seconds of every round. He always does something really big in the last 30 seconds of every round. So even when he has these close fights with these high-level strikers, he always does something big to sway the judges in the last 30 seconds, which is just a vet move. Like, you have to respect it. But I feel like Pereira will have a hard time finding Jones just because of Jones's range. We already lost Maddie. I miss Maddie so much. We tried to get her back for an episode, but she is a busy bee. She and her husband have just bought a gym, and they have just had their grand opening. So big congrats to Maddie and Ross. We love them, and we do miss our Maddie very much. Alex easily has the best interest, besides when Izzy comes out to the Undertaker theme. That's true. That's pretty cool. Izzy's had some pretty sick walkouts. I feel like people used to go a little harder with the walkouts for these big pay-per-views. Oh, there's Marab. Standing on a chair. They told him to get down. Do they know who he is? We talked briefly about the press conference earlier. Gene Silva and Bryce Mitchell got heated. It was quite a debacle. We don't miss Maddie quite. Oh, when she's on her Celsius and ranting. Yes, we need Maddie with a Celsius. That's what we need. So I look tired. I can't believe I'm losing an hour of sleep tonight. And I can't believe I didn't know that until like a couple hours ago. It's very depressing. I figured you meant that. I was giving you the benefit of the doubt, but I think Sean drank too much before he started typing comments tonight. They're all over the place. You can blame autocorrect, but... All right. The stare. The Alex Pereira stare. God, he is terrifying. I love that the UFC just knows, so they just zoom in on his eyeballs now. Sean, you got to slow down there, buddy. All right. Oh, Magomed Ankalaev is now a slight dog. I thought the even money was pretty, made sense to me because I think it's a super close fight, but now Ankalaev is a dog. Money came in on Alex Pereira, which I'm honestly not surprised. I think anytime you can get somebody who has been so dominant at such good value, especially when I feel like Alex's last couple fights, he hasn't, like the Yuri fight. Obviously, he was a huge favorite with Khalil Roundtree. It's very rare for you to get that kind of money on Alex. It's like getting Weili as a dog against Tatiana Suarez. Obviously that paid off now in hindsight, but you have to take the risk, right? If you have good value. So it makes sense that a lot of money came in on Alex. Alex always looks huge. I 100% agree. He is a massive man. And he is so scary looking. Ankalaev's pretty big dude too, though. Celtics were on tonight, so I'm 7 beers deep and an infused joint, so could also just be me. Sean, I need you to shape up by the morning brew tomorrow. We expect you to be in good form by 10 a.m. One of my dogs is drooling all over his paw. You're so cute. We have pitties, by the way. I know you can't see them, but you saw Caesar earlier, but we have 2 pit bulls, and they're the best dogs ever. Absolute best. Okay. Let's go. Oh, the octagon looks really cool. Where is he from? Makala, Russia? Did anybody hear how Bruce Buffer pronounced that? Makala. It's a mouthful. Let's go. All right, sorry. It's time. Mike's right. Sorry, I'm spaced out just waiting for this fight to start. I didn't forget about you guys, though, I promise. -120 favorite. If I wake up at 10 a.m., I'll be there, but for sure Tuesday. At least for a little, it's supposed to be like 60 where I live. Where do you live, Sean? I never know where you're watching from. You're always here, which we appreciate. Thanks for always being here. Sorry, this isn't my most hype watch along. Bruce butchered the hometown. Ankalaev saying he's not fasting for Ramadan. He definitely doesn't look like he's been fasting. I mean, I wouldn't be fasting if I was fighting that guy. God, he is massive. Such a big dude. Boston boy. 60 is too cold for me. Anything below like 78 is just freezing. My Florida blood can't handle it. I am built for the sun. Let's go. All right, guys. It's freaking time. It's the main event. We're off. It's okay, Caesar. Caesar scared himself awake. There's nothing going on. Come here. Come here, boys. Come here. Lots of feeling out, which I would expect. Two dangerous guys like that. No, you can't have that, buddy. Ooh, nice calf kick. Ankalaev countered well. I don't know. I can't decide who looks bigger if they look the same size. Also, it's open stance too, so Alex can't use his signature calf kick quite as well with the open stance. Obviously, he's still throwing it, but it's not going to be as hard as it would be with his back leg to... Ooh, wow, it's already bruising, though, so I might be wrong. Maybe it is just as hard. It's more dangerous to kick that calf, too, though. I like Ankalaev fighting as a lefty. I mean, it makes sense to mitigate the calf kicks, you know? It's good for him here. So I think that's one of the things that like Poatan uses over time. Like if people do well early, they slow down because that just constant chipping away at the calf. Sorry, guys. I didn't have coffee. Hey, my buddy. Hello. So what do we think? Ankalaev said he was going to wrestle. He said he wasn't going to wrestle. Is he shooting this round? Are we going to see it? Go. Boy. Pereira staying safe. Ankalaev coming back with some calf kicks of his own. Definitely not doing as much damage as Alex's are, I think. Like neither guy's really solidified, landed anything super big. Woo! There was some heat on that though. Like how careful Alex is being kicking the calf, because when you're kicking the calf in open stance, you have to be really careful of the counter from the two. So he's doing it really long so that he can reach the leg without getting punched right after. He's doing a really nice job of that. There's your knee stomps, SG. Pereira threw one in there. Nice. It's a super close round. Ooh. There, he got him there. He kicked the calf, got countered. But Ankalaev's calf is starting to, it's starting to wear on him. He's thinking about switching. If Pereira can beat his right calf up enough to make him switch, I think Ankalaev might be done, because then Poatan will just start attacking the other calf with much harder kicks, I would expect. There's the first shot. Nice. Good work. See? Stop the first shot. And that's when they're dry, too. As he gets more and more slippery, it can get harder and harder. He's not getting away from him, though. He's not getting taken down either. So we'll see. See if he can break the grip next round, because I would definitely expect Ankalaev to shoot again. I think he wrestles later. Well, we were both wrong, because I was with you. I didn't think he'd wrestle till the third. Dave's lucky to have you for this watch along. Oh, thanks, Sean. Dave's just lucky to have me in general. I'm just kidding. I love Dave. We're lucky to have Dave. Look for the Alex left hook. I think he's having a hard time placing it with the southpaw and just the movement from Ankalaev. He's got to worry about a lot. He's really got to be careful with the counters. He's doing a good job. He's being very measured. Ankalaev went shin for shin with Jan, though. I thought he will be all right. The power might not be. Yeah, no. I don't think Jan Blachowicz is kicking like Alex Pereira is when it comes to the calf. I think Pereira's is pretty special. Right clave? Oh, you're trying to say calf? The right calf is getting pretty tore up. Yes, it is. I agree. It's starting to turn red. And it's really hard to do that when you're kicking the calf in open stance. Ooh, nice jab from Ankalaev. Ankalaev is definitely coming out a little more aggressive this round. Part of me is like, I don't really like Poatan on his back foot against the cage, but also there's so much danger in his counters. So it's like you have to be careful with that as well, coming in hard when Pereira's backed up. He's having a harder time finding that calf this round. I'd like to see him switch to the body, but he might be a little bit worried about him catching the kick to wrestle. Champy says he got a feeling Ankalaev will get the upset. Oh, nice deep. Nice. Nice. If Ankalaev just outstrikes him for the last 4 rounds, that would be kind of wild. Stop that. No, thank you. Both guys are being so careful not to make a mistake. You have to be just so careful with both of these guys. Anything can be capitalized on. I just love how Ankalaev has developed his striking game. Oh, that was beautiful. Came right over the top. Ankalaev's really finding his range. How did you guys score the first round? I didn't ask because it was super duper close. I think this round is so far as Ankalaev's, but it's only halfway through, so we'll see what the second half looks like. But Champi said, Pereira hype train comes to an end. The Eastern Euros are dominating combat sports right now. We shall see. Ooh! Oh, he hurt him. He's recovered well, I think, but Ankalaev's still pretty measured coming in on Poatan. He knows he can counter with that hook, with that check hook. He's fighting him very smart. Little bursts and then back to being safe. Like, nice. Woo! I feel like Pereira just has not had an opportunity to like unleash and be a little bit more, reckless with his striking because he has to be just so careful with everything with Ankalaev. Ankalaev's counters look super sharp. He has to worry about the shot. It seems like every time Pereira starts to kind of press, Ankalaev does such a good job, like starting, like giving him something to think about. Yeah, he doesn't let him back him up too far up to the cage because he knows if he gets like boxed in there, it's super dangerous with Pereira in front of you. I think he is struggling with the southpaw as well. So you had Alex winning the first. Obviously, I think this is Ankalaev's round pretty clearly. So 1-1 right now with 20 seconds left. Oh! Ow! Woo! Survived to the end of the round. Dude, Ankalaev. Wow. Yeah, 1-1, 100%. Head kick time for Poatan. We'll see. Ankalaev's not giving him a lot of space to get his normal rhythm going. I think the southpaw is really giving him issues. Just doesn't seem to be throwing a whole lot either. Wow. Ankalaev looks fantastic. See if he is fully recovered. Seems okay. I got to keep commenting because I need to help keep you up. Yes. You do need to help me stay awake. I mean, the fight, I'm not going to fall asleep during the fight, but I'm going to make it. All right. Ankalaev's coming out hot round 3. I was honestly leaning towards this going to the scorecards, but I'm not so sure anymore. I think Ankalaev might knock him out. Maybe Pereira can start to gain some momentum. He's got to find his range. He's really struggling with it right now. Henry Cejudo tweeted Ankalaev just dominated the second round. The left hook hitting him with his own signature move. Yeah, it seems like everybody else has got it 1-1 as well. 100%. Ankalaev is winning the foot fight too. Like, his foot is always outside Alex's, which is nice when you're like, that gives you such an advantage with the angle when you're in open stance. I like how he's just stabbing with the teep too. Like, if Alex is out of range for a jab, he just flicks the teep up, checks the range, keeps Alex from like coming in when Ankalaev isn't like super solid in his stance. I do agree. It took Alex a while to get going with Khalil, but Khalil is a very different fighter from Ankalaev. He's not as long. He's more explosive, but he's not as long, you know? I think it's the long southpaw that's like giving Alex the trouble. He's backing up so much. And then he like, it's almost like he's trying to bait Ankalaev into just coming in recklessly, but Ankalaev's not, like, he's not biting on it, you know? He's not taking the bait. So he's just kind of backing up the whole round, you know? I think he needs to be a little bit more, just a little bit more urgent, you know? I don't think he can wait to counter here. I think he might throw away whole rounds if he does that. What do you need, buddy? Come here. Come here. No, don't do that. Ooh, ooh, beautiful knee. Nice. Got away from him that time. Oh, that hook was close. If he had sat down into that, there we go. Now Alex is meeting him with a little bit more strikes, making him respect him a little bit more. Because earlier, Ankalaev was just walking him down. Whew. Yeah, he is backing up quite a bit. I agree. I think he's waiting too much, and the times he goes and he meets him, Ankalaev has to respect his power, but then he's going back to waiting and throwing like one at a time. When he put his combos together, he looked beautiful. It's really well done, but he's throwing away this round just off octagon control mostly. Yeah, he's like reaching for that hook, like he's not setting it up. He's just like throwing it out there and hoping it lands, but he's not in range to throw it. Well, I think it's 2-1 Ankalaev pretty clearly. And it seems like he's gaining momentum, and Alex is starting to get used to it. Sean, you gotta stop drinking or you spell check. I don't know what you're saying. I think 2-1 Ankalaev, but definitely worried. Is that what you were trying to say? Okay. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt because that one made sense. I do think it's 2-1 Ankalaev. 2 more rounds, guys, and then it's bedtime. Also, if you guys missed any of the fights earlier, there is an article up with live results, and my computer is going to die. I need to grab my charger. I'll be right back in 2 seconds. Okay. We're back. We're back. We're going to have to move to a different spot on the couch. It's closer to an outlet. Sorry, peeps. My battery's not used to this much usage. Is there an outlet there? There is. Haha. Okay. Yeah, the takedown defense looks good, like Dominic Cruz is saying here, but it's on Twitter. But I just feel like he's letting Ankalaev have too many opportunities, to on the feet, giving him too much. All right, I gotta move my couch. Caesar, hang on. Sorry, guys. Okay, we're good. The computer's not gonna die. And they're still on the cage, so it's okay. We didn't miss much. Sorry, guys. I had to grab the charger. The computer wasn't gonna make it. Okay, we're back. Yeah, I think this is Ankalaev's fight. I don't think Pereira has chipped away at him enough to put him away. Pereira's finishes, I feel like, come from his earlier work in the earlier rounds, especially with the calf. And it just doesn't seem to be taking. Ankalaev is just gaining more momentum so far. Obviously, Alex has the power to put him away. Come here, buddy. No, you want to be over there? But I just don't see it happening at this point. I think we're going to get another round and a half of very smart cage control from Ankalaev. No. Breaking the action. Let's go. I'm not honestly opposed to that. He was working, but not a lot was happening. Ooh, that was nice. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Alex catches him, but Ankalaev's being so careful with it. He hasn't been too reckless with his striking yet. Very nice teeth. Love how he's using the lead leg. And he's not giving him that calf to kick either. Like every time it's almost, I'm not sure if it's like a habit or if he's switching on purpose, but he'll step through the orthodox and he'll go right back. Like he's not giving any time for Alex to start attacking that leg. He's just adding to the pressure. Ankalaev about to wrestle and clinch the last 2 rounds. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. Ankalaev strategy is paying off. Love the southpaw for him. I think he's just overwhelming Pereira at this point. He's using clinch and wrestling. He's got it. Alex needs to catch him. Yeah, I just don't know if Alex. He's not getting any opportunities to catch Ankalaev because he's staying so defensively sound. He's being very careful with the way he presses in and the way he separates. There's not a lot of in-between time for Alex to catch him, you know? It's not giving him these opportunities that he's used to. We're gonna make it, guys. One more round. I obviously 3-1. Oh, that was kind of sick. Threw him at the last second. Was that before or after the bell? You guys can hear. Hi ho. What's up, Rally? Would Ankalaev get winner of Jan versus Yolberg or Yuri next? Probably winner of Jan versus Yolberg. I would think. Well, honestly, maybe not. Maybe Yuri. I'm too tired. I'm sorry. I'm thinking right before the bell. Okay, thank you, Sean. Let's see, where are they ranked? Technically, Yuri is ranked higher than both guys. And he just won, so probably him. But yeah, I would think so. And it's a fight we haven't seen yet. You know, like it would make sense for him to not get the title shots if we just saw him fight Alex. If Alex won, but have him fight Ankalaev makes more sense. Beat Jamal Hill pretty badly too, so I would think he is deserving. Oh, you read my mind, Sean. Oh, we need an energy bar or something. Oh, yeah, Alex definitely needs to open up more. I mean, it's way harder to do than to say, of course. Shutting down that lead hand of Pereira so well too, and then Pereira's not throwing backhand because it's like when you're open stance like that. Nice hook, kind of landed there, but not super clean. When you're open stance like that, if you can kill the front hand, like with the hand fight. Sorry, I forgot to turn this off. If you can kill the front hand with the hand fight, then all you have to worry about is the back leg and the backhand. And so if you know that's all they're throwing, it becomes a lot easier to counter. So I feel like Pereira knows that he's going to get countered if he throws like a big bomb when Ankalaev's fighting the lead hand. So he's just kind of accepting it. He isn't really trying to win the foot fight a whole lot either. Just seems like he didn't prepare for this Ankalaev, you know? Somebody had it tied going into the fifth? What other round would you give Alex besides the first? Still fighting that lead hand, fighting the foot. Alex uses it, but he doesn't use it to strike. Like, he'll get his foot outside of Ankalaev's and then just use it to circle. Like, he's not using the angle when he gets there, you know? And there it is. Countering with the backhand. You're fine. There's nothing there. Shush. Stop it. Come here. Come here. Caesar. Caesar. Hey. Stop it. Ooh, it's a nice jab from Alex. Nice kick. Oh. Right back. Still no takedown. Yep. I think that the time has passed for Alex to get his finish. I think we are looking at the new light heavyweight champ. Minute left, and he's controlling pretty well on the cage. I expect him to just kind of clinch here. Oh, just dragged Alex's face across the cage. Ouch. He's just stuck to him like glue at this point, which is honestly the best, smartest option. You know, mitigate all the danger for the last 30 seconds, and you're the champ. Wow. I was definitely not, I'm not surprised to see Ankalaev win like this, but I expected it to be a closer fight. You know, I definitely expected it to be a lot more competitive than this. I had it 4 rounds to 1. So Manuel. I believe we obviously don't have the scorecards yet, but Ankalaev probably just won 4 rounds to 1. So that's true. Alex might get a rematch. He was champ for a while. I showed on Twitter. Oh. Caesar having bad dreams. No, he's awake. He's just being a little poop. Little poop head. I'm going to grab the remote so I can put the subtitles on so I can see what the score is. And then we'll let you guys go until tomorrow morning. You are a dog. Staying up all night to watch the pay-per-view and do watch along. On a day we're about to lose an hour. I know I'm going to die. But I'm here for you guys. Tomorrow I'm going to wake up. I'm going to pick Grant up from the airport. I'm going to come home. I'm going to do the Sunday morning brew. And then I'm going to go volunteer at my church for like a couple hours. So it's going to be a long day. I'm going to go to bed really, really early tomorrow night. Maybe I'll take a nap before I go to church. Maybe I'll take a post-morning brew nap. I'll have tea at the brew instead of coffee and then drink my coffee after I nap. Whew. Well, round 5 went to Pereira. Judges' scorecards have been a little bit wayward tonight with respect. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm getting like bits and pieces of this from the subtitles, so we will see. It's taking a while is what they're saying. Yeah. I think that there's no reason this shouldn't be Magomed's fight. I don't think it was that close. All right. Let's see. Here's Bruce Buffer. After 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for the decision. Judges score the contest. It's unanimous. 49, 46, 48, 47, 48, 47 for the winner. I just don't know what second round Alex won. But yeah, Ankalaev gets the unanimous decision victory. Not surprised after that performance. Super dominant in my opinion. I honestly don't know how two judges gave Alex 2 rounds. Do you know if they're going to do a post-fight, the UFC or Fight Bananas? Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how two judges gave Alex 2 rounds, to be honest. I thought it was pretty clear 4-1, but that's me personally. We'll have to watch it back with more sleep. That happens what you're gonna do with picking up Grant, honestly. Fight Bananas. I actually don't know if we're gonna do a Fight Bananas live post show. But you should stay tuned and check. Jonathan usually does, so it's late though. But you should definitely, I'm not gonna stay up and check, but you should stay up and check. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate y'all. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you subscribe to the YouTube channel and you send us a DM on Facebook telling us that you sub to the YouTube channel, we will mail you a free UFC trading card. So do that. And also, go check out the website. Who's winning? It's already over, Boyd. Ankalaev won, in my opinion, 4 rounds to 1. He had one judge, 49-46. 2 judges, 48-47 for Ankalaev. Nice dominant victory. That's how I feel most nights, Elle being drunk during UFC. Oh, okay. I was like, I'm not drunk. I'm never drunk. I don't drink. But that makes more sense. You're drunk. Tell Dave I need another and soon. Another watch along, I'm assuming. Yes, we will do another watch along soon. But guys, go to the website. I dropped the link in the comment section. Check out my article that is out on Gamrot and his response to being turned down by Justin Gaethje. Go check it out. We have the live results on our website as well. If you missed the fights and you want to know what happened, that is all at fightbananasofficial.com. So head over there, sub the YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for watching along with me. This was really fun. I am now going to go to bed. But I love you guys, and I'll see you later.